You've been lied to. Lied to by corrupt Washington politicians and the Wall Street propaganda machine. Hi, I'm Inc. magazine best-selling author Brett Kitchen, and I want to give you a free copy of my brand new book, Wealth Beyond Wall Street, because we all know another market crash could be right around the corner. After losing 35% in my IRA in the crash years ago, I said enough, and since then I discovered a way to grow money potentially double digits, reduce taxes dramatically, and also have my money protected when the next stock market crash hits. When the next market crash hits, you lose nothing. Call Wealth Beyond Wall Street now to get your free copy and talk with a specialist to discover this little-known strategy to get potential double-digit growth during good years and never lose when the next stock market crash hits, all while building a tax-advantaged retirement. Call 1-800-920-8484 to discover this asset that people like Walt Disney and JCPenney use to grow wealthy. Plus, get one of just 97 free books left. We even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. Call 800-920-8484. 1-800-920-8484. That's 1-800-920-8484.
When you need a battery, it's Wholesale Batteries. Since 1977, Wholesale Batteries is one of the largest full-line battery suppliers in the Midwest, serving commercial, industrial, OEM, and retail customers. Call 913-342-0113. Wholesale Batteries, we give you the power.
Andy's Cookie Casanova Jackhammer is back, just for the new year. Hurry in for hot fudge, warm cookies, and frozen custard. Andy's Frozen Custard. We know where you got that grin.
You trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance, all without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
WHB Kansas City. Chiefs fans, this is the Sports Radio 810 WHB Postgame Show, presented by the Missouri Lottery. Remember to play it forward with the Missouri Lottery and CBD American Shaman. Life is better with a feather.
We thought, we hoped, coming into this game tonight, that we might get something that could make an argument for something bordering on an instant classic. What we got was one of the greatest football games you will ever see anywhere, ever. The Kansas City Chiefs are not just going back to the AFC Championship game once again. They are going to be hosting the AFC Championship game for the fourth consecutive year on the back of a game that had points, on lead changes, on chaos, on anything you could ask for. This show would have been extremely different tonight if there would have been just a tiny, tiny bit less Mahomes magic. A little bit less here or there, or, maybe a couple of earlier kicks from Harrison Butker landing where they were hoping to land. There are a lot of ways this show could have started differently tonight. But I'm going to have to ask that we hold some of the assorted discourse on the defense and some of the fourth down calls and the defense being the pass rush and the coverage and there is plenty of time to talk about where this game almost went wrong. We'll get there. We got a long show. We got a long week to get ready for the Kansas City Chiefs to host the Cincinnati Bengals in the AFC Championship game coming up 1 week from today. That cannot be where we start. Because 42 points is something. 42-36 in overtime is something else. The number of points scored late in this game is unthinkable. The football you just saw from these two quarterbacks is unmatched. We talked about this some in our pregame chat today, talked about this yesterday, talked about this Friday, been talking about this all week. Is this going to be the new Brady Manning? Could Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes be the new competition for a generation between two unstoppable aliens at quarterback? And my hesitation was that these guys don't play like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. They were absolutely, impossibly perfect captains of an offense at every turn. But what you saw tonight is what I meant when I said that Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes might give us a decade with more fun. Now, if you're a Chiefs fan listening right now, or certainly if you're a Bills fan listening right now, fun might not be the first word you would use. It might not even be the first word you would use that starts with an F and a U. And I wouldn't blame you for that, because I think I'd be there with you. But what we just watched, on the way to hosting a 4th consecutive AFC championship game, what we just watched was one of the greatest performances you will ever see from two human beings or aliens playing the quarterback position. That's step one for me, is, oh my goodness, appreciate what you just watched. Just with the relief you have now of that game being over and the Chiefs winning it, imagine if that Chiefs-Rams game that we all remember would have happened in the playoffs, in the divisional round, with a much better quarterback, and the Chiefs won with even more late-game chaos than you could have imagined. Regulation, not even to speak of how long it took for the Chiefs to go score their touchdown in overtime to end this game. The Chiefs and Bills scored 18 points in the final 73 seconds. They scored 25 points in a minute 54. 25 points in 2 minutes. 25 points were scored after the 2-minute warning. If that wasn't from Adam Schefter, I would have to go do that math again because it doesn't seem right, and I just watched it. You will not draw up in a lab. You could not create on Madden. You could not, in a script, write better football than we just watched. It sure is nice that the Chiefs were victorious on the end of it there. But the process of that game is something you should never forget, because you will never see that again. These two guys are changing the way the quarterback position is played. Therefore, the way the sport is played. Therefore, the way we all watch and talk about this sport. I said this again over the weekend and many times I've been on these airwaves. I said, you know what I would love from this game if I could pick out of a hat. You know what would I prefer here? I thought I wanted to see Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes be Godzilla versus Kong in this game. And what I really wanted was for that to end with Patrick Mahomes being the victorious one. What we got was like an alien battle, the Pacific Rim and Godzilla and Kong, and some, again, truly poor defensive play on both sides late in the game. I'm watching the highlights right now, looping through from overtime. And I can't believe what I'm watching, but I also can, because here's the one other thing about these quarterbacks that I want to mention right off the front here. I want to give all the credit in the world that I could possibly heap upon Josh Allen. I think you should too. Frankly, I think this rivalry is going to be even more fun if you acknowledge that Josh Allen is a freak. And yet, he was not the best quarterback in the game tonight. He is not the best quarterback in football, nor the best quarterback in the AFC, despite him being fabulous. Just truly dynamic. But you have Patrick Mahomes playing for your football team. Again, the worst thing you could say about Josh Allen in the last 30 minutes of our lives and like 5 minutes of game time, the worst thing you can say about Josh Allen is that his team didn't win the toss, which we, as Chiefs fans, we've been there. These two quarterbacks did everything they could, and Patrick Mahomes' team got the ball. He was on CBS right after the game, on the field, sideline interview. Let's hear Patrick Mahomes moments after winning one of the best football games this sport has ever seen.
Patrick, congratulations. No surprise this one went down to the wire, especially the way we've seen all these games going this weekend. And of course, you and Josh Allen take us through that overtime, and then that final touchdown to Kelsey.
Yeah, it was a heck of a game. 17, Josh played his ass off, pardon my language. It was a great game between two great football teams, and at the end of the day, guys like Tyreek and Travis made the plays that won us the game.
We talk about a budding rivalry. We know how bad they wanted it after losing it here. We know how bad you guys wanted it after the way you started this season. How do you describe what we witnessed today?
This is my MVP. We don't care what y'all say.
No, we're going to play this team a lot of times in games like this. With that quarterback, with that coaching staff, and the players they have, it's going to be a lot of battles. I'm glad we got this one. We're going to try to keep it rolling. We got a good team coming in next week, but we get to be at Arrowhead of the AFC Championship.
Yes, you do, and you get to be here against the Cincinnati. We wish you the best of luck in that game. We'll see you there.
Appreciate you.
Patrick Mahomes, right after the game, as heard and seen on CBS, heard here on the Sports Radio 810 WHB Postgame Show. I'm Joshua Brisco, your host. No Beards McFly tonight, so Jason Justice, the Drake. We've really moved Chris Jones from defensive tackle to edge to have Jason here hitting the buttons on Beards' behalf. Hopefully that doesn't backfire. Rudy Salazar still roaming around the premises, and the Drake just mentioned there that really the worst thing that Josh Allen did tonight was leave 13 bleeping seconds for Patrick Mahomes. Hardly malpractice from a quarterbacking perspective, and what a win! I was talking yesterday. Yesterday I was talking about the post Super Bowl show that we did, the one where the Chiefs won against the 49ers. You may remember we did that show from the end of the game up until the Border Patrol at 6 a.m. the next morning. And one of the things I was recalling about that game is that we did precious little actual evaluation of the game we had just watched because it didn't really matter. There were no future opponents to prepare for, nothing to really dissect about what went wrong. The Chiefs are Super Bowl champions. I kind of feel that way tonight, to be honest. Not that the Chiefs have won the Super Bowl by any means, and if you want to, prepare for a letdown game against the Bills or whatever, I think the Chiefs will be just fine preparing for. I said Bills, thank you, Drake. I meant Bengals. I think the Chiefs will be perfectly well equipped to handle the Bengals. I think they'll be prepared all week long. I think they will live this game up for a day or two, and Monday or Tuesday they will be locked into Cincinnati. But what I feel right now is that I've got like 5 pages of Google Doc notes and absolutely no reason to scroll through them. Because here's what it was. In the final 2 minutes of regulation, 3 lead changes, 1 tie, 25 points scored, 3 passing touchdowns and 221 passing yards for Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. In the last 2 minutes, Josh Allen threw 4 touchdowns to Gabriel Davis. Travis Kelce had a catch that I don't know how his feet ended up in the end zone and his hands ended up on the ball to ice it. You got incredible speed and moments from Tyreek Hill and McCole Hardman. They overcame some truly poor defensive play. They did okay through the first half, by the way. Like, I don't actually think the Chiefs defense would have to wear all of this if, this would have ended any differently in that fourth quarter. But there are 1,000 different things that happened here, and I don't know how to talk about any of them other than, did you see those 2 quarterbacks have a heavyweight fight in the last 2 minutes of regulation and then some? I wanted to talk about, the Chiefs' pass rush and what the trenches look like. I told you coming into this game, I thought the Chiefs had the advantage in both sides of the trenches. It was something we had talked about on Almost Entirely Sports this week. Thought it was a great point. Thought it was a good idea, an interesting conversation topic. Chiefs front 4 did not get pressure on Josh Allen on a very consistent basis tonight based off the eye test from me. The Chiefs' offensive line was playing, I'm not going to say scared, because I don't think they were scared. They were playing with their hands full, trying to protect Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes ran around, hit open receivers, found guys in space, won this game in about had a absolute submarine pitch He filled out the highlight reel in a game here and almost didn't win it because of how exceptional the other team was, and also, yes, again, some not great defense. The defense was clearly gassed late in that game, and there were a couple of instances where I didn't think the effort was great, which is sort of unideal for that moment. But again, you've been chasing around an incredible high-flying offense doing their damnedest to keep up with your offense, and, that's a bit of a tough role for that defense to be in. A truly unbelievable football game. With the right result, I hope everybody's heart rates are at an okay place right now. Because we've got a show to do from here on out. The phones are full. We'll start taking some calls here momentarily. We're streaming and video feed in 1,000 different places. You can watch the show live and also leave your comments in the comment section. Gonna try to keep an eye on those, but they're moving pretty good right now. I'll keep my eye on it. But appreciate everyone chiming in there as well on the Sports Radio 810 Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube channels. You can continue to watch us there all night long. We will also bring you press conferences live from Arrowhead Stadium. Not sure who will be at the podium. We'll definitely hear from Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes at some point. We will also bring you Josh Allen later in the show because I would like to hear from him. We try to bring you some opposition audio to round out the night. Josh Allen will be my plan there. We'll probably hear from Sean McDermott as well. Maybe we hear from, I think we hear from Patrick Mahomes, right? Maybe we also get the Chiefs' leading rusher, maybe. That was also Patrick Mahomes. Never mind. 7 carries for 69 yards, which is, of course, nice. Tyreek Hill into this game with 11 catches for 150 yards. Doesn't seem quite right. Again, Gabriel Davis put up 204 touchdowns and didn't end up getting to have one of the perhaps 2 biggest receiving moments of the night. There was a dagger 2-point conversion that shouldn't have happened after a touchdown on 4th and 13? That shouldn't have happened. It all did. I don't know where this is coming from interview-wise, if it's audio we'll have, but James Palmer just tweeted, James Palmer of NFL Network just tweeted, Tyreek Hill told me after the game that he thought the touchdown won it. Quote, I thought it was over. I even gave the peace sign. Not the overtime touchdown. Not even the last score of regulation. That Tyreek Hill touchdown felt like it happened a decade ago. He thought it was over because he scored a touchdown with 1 minute and 13 seconds left. Minute and 13 seconds left. Tyreek Hill scored a touchdown. The Chiefs went up by 4. He thought it was over. Then the Bills went and scored a touchdown in 49 seconds, and the Chiefs scored a field goal in 13. Kidding me? That's not how it works. If they would have lost this game, we could have legitimately had a conversation about Tyreek Hill needing to, slide inbounds down there by the goal line, which he legit probably should have done, but, I understand that is not a natural thing to do in that spot, especially in a game that's been moving as fast as this one was. But it felt like that game was over to not just to you and me, but to Tyreek Hill before 16 more points were scored. The game was over, and then they scored 16 more points. If they would have lost, I would have had some great analysis about the secondary and the pass rush. Some unforced errors like a bad punt. Hill not getting down there and actually just scoring. I promise, if my teacher was here, I would show the work. The way that game ended, I feel like everyone should be grateful that this hasn't just been 17 minutes of intelligible screaming. I can't believe that we've made it this far. It's the Sports Radio 810 WHB Postgame Show. I am Joshua Brisco, barely still, and it's all brought to you by the Missouri Lottery. Remember to play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. More play and more power with Powerball with double play. For an extra $1, players have the chance to win up to $10 million in a separate drawing. Missouri Lottery, play responsibly. Also, got you a good deal at CBD American Shaman tomorrow, which could definitely help. You know, you want to you need to relax. Maybe your hands have been hurt, from clutching a stress ball for the last hour or so. They can help you with that at CBD American Shaman. And when Kansas City scores, you score big at your local CBD American Shaman. The Chiefs score is your percent off, and they put up 42 tonight. So you get 42% off all day tomorrow at CBD American Shaman. Life is better with the feather. Deep breaths. Jason just gave me a little break sign. You want to take a quick timeout, come back, we'll take some calls and everything?
I need to catch my breath.
We'll all catch our breaths. We'll take a break. We're going to come back, take some calls. We'll get you Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, whoever else comes to the podium. I'm going to open the door, get some cold air in here, have some water, lay down, and try to get back up in time for the commercial break. And fun fact, during the course of this commercial break, the Chiefs and Bills will score 47 more points.
You're listening to exclusive post-game coverage on Kansas City's home for the NFL. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Remember to play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. More play, more power Powerball. Now on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturdays.
Tired of searching for sports updates in different places? The Xfinity Sports Zone gives you the ultimate sports hub experience. Find games, commentary, news, and highlights all in one place. Use the voice remote to get instant access to stats and scores. Just say, "Show me NASCAR" or "soccer scores." Plus, get notifications with breaking news alerts and more when the game's about to start. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store for details. Restrictions apply. Requires Xfinity TV service with X1.
We've got Tom Shane here. So, how are you, Tom?
Doing great.
You've been in the jewelry business for a while. What's a Valentine's Day gift that will really take her breath away?
We have so many options at Shane Company.
What if you're serious, but not ready to get engaged?
Our designers created an infinity diamond necklace made with our signature shade of rose gold for $565.
That sounds nice.
She'll love having something so special.
Any other favorites?
An east-west heart necklace.
What's an east-west heart?
A sideways heart. A new take on a heart necklace.
That's cool.
It is. It's accented with either a red garnet, an amethyst, or a cultured freshwater pearl for $150.
Wow.
And you can get her earrings to match the gemstone.
So, should we go to the store or shaneco.com?
Either way, we'll make it easy for you.
That sounds awesome.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and shaneco.com.
Hey guys, it's Grunny here for my friends at CBD American Shaman. Man, I love football and I love big scores. When Kansas City scores, you score big at your local CBD American Shaman stores the day after the game. If Kansas City puts up 30, it's 30% off all the next day at your local CBD American Shaman store. If they put up 50, you got it, 50% off all the very next day. Now that's a big win. CBD American Shaman. Life is so much better with the feather.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon. Cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Some months I make $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code BRIDGE for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your next fill-up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code BRIDGE for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BRIDGE.
Hi, I'm Fred Ramsey. And I'm Mark Tobin. Hey, folks, if you're not busy Saturday mornings from 6 to 7 a.m., well, I hope you'll join us for the Midwest Outdoors, brought to you by Reed Chevrolet St. Joe.
Join us and our expert guests, and we'll be talking about hunting and fishing, dog training. We'll give you tips, pass along stories, and most important, share some laughs along the way.
That's right. We cover it all, from crappie to waterfowl. and we'll tell you how to cook it too.
The Midwest Outdoors brought to you by Reed Chevrolet, Saturday morning, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Hi, I'm Jordan, president of Digital Lagoon, a web and design agency. This year, I'm proud to be celebrating 25 years in business. Here at Digital Lagoon, we can provide you with a strategic digital marketing strategy. With the implementation of social media, SEO, and online advertising, these programs are proven to improve your website traffic. Let us collaborate with you to structure a plan and cut through the digital noise. Check us out at lagoon.com. That's lagoon.com.
It's a Sports Radio 810 WHB Postgame Show here, of course, on Sports Radio 810 WHB. I'm Joshua Brisco with you here for the time being for a good remainder of the night. In fact, we very well could be here until Sunday becomes Monday. And over the course of 3 hours of football today, we saw, what would that be, 78 points total scored, with a whole bunch of those in the final minutes of regulation. And so much to talk about. And so much to look back on, and we could do this entire show. We might do this entire show on the last 2 minutes of regulation and 3.5 minutes of overtime. You want to get in touch with the show, you can do it in a number of ways. You can watch the show live on the Sports Radio 810 Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube channels. Hi to everybody watching on the streams. Or you can leave your comments there, or you can call in 913-3810810. We'll take some questions while we wait for Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, rest of the Chiefs at the podium. Nobody there yet, taking their dear sweet time in the locker room right now. Curious what those conversations are like. But we will get to the phones and kick it off with the top. Gary, you're up first. Batter up.
Well, Josh, after watching that game tonight, I don't think that you can top this game with anything more classic than what we saw tonight. What you saw was one group of players putting a team on their back and carrying, which would be your quarterback and your skill players, with everybody else pretty much just along for the ride. And I don't think you could ask more of what Patrick Mahomes did tonight, because the offensive line wasn't great tonight, but they did just enough to help him. But the way he used his legs tonight just to improvise and to keep plays alive, and the receivers getting open, the catch by Pringle in the end zone, the first touchdown he threw, I don't know how in the world that happened. That was just magic right there. But
unbelievable.
I just scratched my head, and it was just from about the 2-minute warning to the end of the game. It was just WTF moment. That's all it was, and that's all I kept saying was these are just WTF moments. And for this team to come out on top when we've usually been the guys on the receiving end of these, it just feels kind of special, and to know that we're hosting an AFC championship game this week. But I am going to close with something negative that I said after the Denver game.
Mm-hmm.
I really wish they would have left Steve Spagnuolo somewhere else when the playoffs started, and I'm not going to back off of those comments. I'll hang up and listen. Great show, guys, but as long as we have 15, are you really ever out of a ball game? I'll hang up and listen.
Never out of it. Appreciate it, Gary. No, look, this was a incredibly brutal stretch for the defense late in that game. There's no way around it. The pressure wasn't getting home. If they were gassed, if there was a schematic issue, if they should have been sending more, maybe you do blitz Josh Allen later in the game because you've realized that just letting him stand back there and hope you get there in 4 wasn't going to work. If you wanted to bring a little bit of something to Steve Spagnuolo, we haven't even mentioned the fact that Tyrann Mathieu was out basically this entire game. He was hurt on the first offensive drive. I think it was the first drive. Super early in the game, they lost Tyrann Mathieu. Now, here's two sides of the same coin. Tyrann Mathieu helps the communication of the back end of that defense in a tremendous way, right? With Mathieu back there, everything that needs to be communicated from one guy to the other and have someone who definitely knows what's going on, that is hugely important. On the other hand, if your defense needs Tyrann Mathieu back there to not leave dudes wide bleeping open in the middle of the end zone, that's a tough draw and a tough sell for your defensive scheme and for the guys that you have. Honestly, it's where is Juan Thornhill in the defense? What is the point of Dan Sorensen if no one without Tyrann Mathieu can help those guys get lined up or be where they need to be? DeAndre Baker got forced into action. There was some Mike Hughes all over the place all night. No Rashad Fenton. A brief time without Charvarius Ward. I'm not excusing any of that. It's all bad, and we'll have time later in this show and later in this week to look at where things went wrong and what the Bengals will try to do and what the Chiefs will try to do against the Bengals next week. But we almost ought to punctuate every sentence with just Mahomes. The defense wasn't very good tonight, especially later on. Really have a few things I'm worried about there. Mahomes. It just sort of slices it up and reminds you what happens whenever the Chiefs stay in it just barely by enough. You sometimes get that. Next up, we'll go to George. George, what's up?
I have things to say.
Yes, George.
Okay, so first of all, I've got the star headline for tomorrow morning. If they're listening, please feel free to steal it.
Okay.
Cincinnati is on to us.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So, every single game this weekend could just as easily have put people in the hospital, heart palpitations.
Yes.
I have my blood pressure machine right here.
Uh-huh.
It was unreal. It was unreal. Every single game.
Yeah. All four.
This was the coup de grace to the whole thing.
Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful football. Like I said last week, it was nice to see a Big 12 game break out on the level.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of offense. Defense we'll worry about another day.
Sure.
In your world, sir, yes, it came back to haunt you. The foot in football.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, bad. Rough day for Harrison Butker until he totally redeemed himself. That's football, baby. Football.
We'll take it. But again, even the Buffalo punter put us down on the 1 yard line.
Yep.
We overcame that.
Yep.
That was just unreal. And then again, there's my man Pringle, doing it again, contributing where he can, when he can. I don't think he'll ever make the number 2 receiver, but dang, don't let him go.
100%. Same. You know what? I not to step on Byron Pringle. I want to say all that same blame about McCole Hardman again. Neither of those guys need to be this team's second or even third pass catching option. Both of those dudes belong on a roster, and I think they have found a wonderful spot for themselves, in particular on this roster.
And the last thing is totally unrelated to any of the game at all. But if you ever listen to the San Francisco radio announcer when he called a touchdown, he is stealing Mitch Holthus.
He had a Trey Area instead of Bay Area call in the preseason that made the rounds in St. Joe in the media tent. We had a good chuckle about that, so that makes sense.
I don't care if it's left field. Let's not get ahead of Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't it nice that we're going to get a chance to redeem ourselves for that game?
Absolutely.
And I don't care if it's San Francisco or Los Angeles in the Super Bowl. If it's San Francisco, we've done it already.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's Los Angeles, it's a time for that redemption for the, as you mentioned, the 53-51 monster game.
Oh, imagine
for that too.
Imagine all the highlight packages of that game we would get for 2 weeks. Oh, what a time. George, I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
You betcha.
Oh, my goodness. Either Super Bowl matchup would be great. Chiefs-Bengals should be great. Also, to George's point, all of those games came down to last-second field goals leading up to this game this week. This was the payoff of it all. But also, all 4 of those games could have gone differently pretty darn easily, which is sort of the magic of this stupid sport that we love so much. The idea of a Titans-Bills AFC Championship game and a Buccaneers-Packers NFC Championship game, that is not many multiverses away. That one is next door, with all 4 of these games going differently. And the Chiefs also became the only one of the higher seeds, the only one of the home teams to win their game this weekend. Just unbelievable. Next up, we got Jay. Jay, tell me what's on your mind.
Yo, what's going on, Jay?
How are you?
What's going on?
How you
good,
feeling? Your
man.
heart good? We all good?
Listen. Okay, so check it. You know I'm in L.A., right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I'm in L.A. still.
Yeah.
So, I felt like I had eaten about 5 pork chops. My blood pressure is high. I don't know how you ain't drinking right now on the job, but somehow you ain't doing it. But check it out. I was about to jump on a plane. After that 3rd and 1, and Reid wanted to go ahead and do a tight end option. You don't know how hot I was. Extremely hot.
Yeah.
But we did it.
Of course. Yeah, we haven't even talked about that play, man. That play was going to be the first half hour of this show, but the game changed 10 times since then.
I messed up. Yeah, look, man, I was heated. I was heated at Reid. I was heated at Butker. I didn't know what I was going to do. I said to myself, look, we about to lose this game. If we get the ball back in OT, then we got it. We got it. We won it. Boom. Man, so yeah, I'm good. I'm happy. So now we get to go ahead and move on to the next round. But the thing that kind of scares me, and I want you to answer this question, how are we going to take care of Jamar Chase? Because they put up another 2-dub on us today. Chase did it. And is it going to happen again? Tell me about it. I'll call you next week. I love y'all, KC. I miss y'all. Talk to you later. Peace out.
Jay, I appreciate it, sir. Thank you for calling in from L.A. Look, great question. What are they going to do next week? What are they going to do with Jamar Chase? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. Jay, I do not mean to shrug off your question. I just don't know that I have the capacity to look ahead just yet. Because I think they're going to do what they did to Stephon Diggs tonight and just say, we'll make somebody else beat us. But tonight, Gabriel Davis did beat them. Gabriel Davis beat the Chiefs' defense tonight. Can't speak for the Bills' defense against the Chiefs' offense, but Cole Beasley and Gabriel Davis pretty much got it done. T. Higgins could do that. Tyler Boyd could do that next week. So I don't feel great about that. I do feel okay about it because of some of the things it took for the Bengals to win that game last time. I almost said last week because it feels like it might have been the last football I saw, but also this was, and also so was like Super Bowl IV, which I wasn't even alive for. It just sort of, I feel like I'm experiencing all football all at once because we just reached football nirvana. Whew. Unbelievable. Let's stay in a holding pattern here real quick and see if we're about to get somebody from the podium. I don't know if Rudy has that info for us. Rudy looked like a man delivering a message. I don't know if we've got the order from the Chiefs or what our situation is right now. But, okay, don't know yet. We're not going to do anything, not going to take any more calls right now. I'm going to freeze in spot in place here, and we will either bring you some Chiefs live press conferences or take at least a couple of calls from Travis and Butch, who've been waiting on hold a little bit. Unless Jason just leaps me. Tyreek Hill, live at the podium here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
We'll start first with Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Tyreek, can you take us through your touchdown late in the fourth quarter? And when during that play did you know you were going to score?
Man, you know what? I always got faith, each and every time I step on the field that I'm going to score. Sometimes it may not happen, but, that time, it was two-man coverage. Safety's very deep. The corner was inside leverage, and that's just Pat, knowing exactly when I'm going to break. Perfect timing, perfect execution, perfect play call, and the rest is history. I was able to use my speed, to get into the end zone. So I'm just very thankful, just to be, able to say that I'm a part of this team, a part of this organization, so yeah, man.
Let's go next to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Tyreek Hill. Congratulations on the win. Obviously, there are a lot of emotions, a lot of stuff happening in that last 2 minutes of the game. How would you describe what was happening on the sidelines to deal with that roller coaster of being up and all of a sudden you have to battle back and then being up again?
You know what, man? We got tremendous leaders on both sides of the ball, whether it's offense, defense, or special teams, So nobody panicked, nobody really, was like, oh, the game is over, 13 seconds left, So, I mean, we just went out, made plays, and like I said, the rest is history. Like we got a great, head coach, great offensive coordinator, and obviously a great quarterback, and we also got the playmakers to go along with it. So everything's great right now.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go Pete.
Tyreek, I was wondering, what do you think tonight's performance means in the course of Patrick Mahomes' career and getting this thing done for you guys?
Oh, this is definitely another step for him, into the Hall of Fame. He had a chance to prove once again he's definitely at the top of the ham when it comes down to like quarterbacks in this league. And, we know it, but I feel like the rest of the league sometimes doubt him because of, the coach and, the players that he has around him. But if you watch the guy, like if you truly know Pat, like the amount of time, he spends watching film, understanding coverages and stuff like that, and also being able to just go out there and make a play out of nothing is crazy. So he's definitely, I feel like he top 2 and he not 2. Like I just feel like that.
Herbie, I think I might have cut you off there. Go ahead, Herbs.
Yeah, no problem. Tyreek, Andy Reid was telling us that in the last 13 seconds, he said to Patrick, when it's grim, go be the Grim Reaper. In your opinion, was Mahomes the Grim Reaper in those 13 seconds there?
Oh, definitely. Like, he definitely doesn't flinch, especially in moments like that, because I feel like we practice those situations. Eric Bieniemy, like he harps each and every Friday, on those situations about, middle rebound passes or just quick passes and calling timeout and stuff like that. Although, on Friday, hearing him say those words, like you never know those situations are going to come up and those meetings are boring, so you just gotta hone in, like all of us do, and just want to, take it in and be great. And that's what we did. 13 seconds, he threw the ball for me for 20 yards, I believe. Then he came right back to Kelsey real quick, and I'm catching a cramp right now as we speak. Oh, my God. Oh, guys. Ooh, hold on. Go ahead, Brad.
We got 2 more. We'll take the first one from Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Some water.
Tyreek, Andy said that when Patrick gets in the huddle, he says that every time, let's be great. I'm wondering if the mood, even with 13 seconds left, drastic situation, if it changed at all, if you still heard those words from him going in, and just I guess the level of ease or non-nerves that you felt in that moment.
Like I said, nobody never flinched a moment, but Coach Reid, like he said, he's always telling Pat to be great because he is great. Just trying to, add more confidence into him, and even into us also, because sometimes 13 seconds, you looking at the clock, you like, but deep down inside, we like, hey, we can do this because we got the playmakers to do it, and we got the coaches to do it, and everything just worked out tonight perfectly, exactly how it was supposed to work out.
We'll last to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Tyreek, a couple of quick questions for you. But first, on the touchdown with a minute left to go, any thought to you of, should maybe go down at the 1-yard line, or was it you guys in the position right there, you just wanted to get in the end zone?
Look, man, I'm a dog. Look, when the game on the line, come to 10, baby, feed Booby. Hey, look, that's what they said on Friday Night Lights, feed Booby, man. EB, nobody said church mode. Coach Reid ain't say church mode. EB ain't say church mode. Patrick Mahomes ain't say church mode. So I'm going to get a touchdown. Why not? And plus, I had like a crazy touchdown celebration plan, but Pat, he like stopped it. So it's crazy.
And secondly, on the punt return, when you get a second chance at it, and you got a little bit of that, the Arrowhead crowd giving the Tyreek chant, that get your juices going there?
Yeah, man, it definitely got my juices going, man, but I'm a little washed up, man. I got to say it, man, because rookie year me, I probably would have cribbed that. But 6 years in, nah, man, I'm tired. I'm stumbling out there, man. I got to do better, man. Come on, 10.
Tyreek, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
There's Tyreek Hill live at the podium, cramping at the podium. If you're not cramping at home right now, or in your car right now, wherever you are right now, if you're not cramping, I don't think you even watched that game hard enough. Oh, my goodness. We'll hold on here to see who comes up next to the podium or what our situation is going to be. But some of the best Tyreek Hill post-game audio that I think we've done. We've heard from him at any point, perhaps as a Chief. I don't think he's washed on the punt returning. In fact, that punt return, by the way, was bonkers because it wasn't just him in space being fast. Like he just seemed kind of untackleable. Ooh, you know what? Here's what I'm gonna compare it to. Sort of Jamal Charles in the hole. On that particular, you have defenders that are closing in like the trash compactor in Star Wars, but instead of getting stuck in there, he just sort of squirts through it. That was a real Jamal Charles highlight that sticks in my mind all the time, is just watching him do that kind of thing. It's like, wait a second. He's supposed to be tackled right there. What happened? Why is he 50 yards downfield now? What? A little bit of that on the punt return. So I won't be too harsh a critic on Tyreek Hill for not housing that one. Although it would have helped, it would have helped all of our blood pressure and heart rates and all of that. But we we got to see the Chiefs' victory in one of the most tremendous football games you'll ever see. We'll take some more calls here momentarily. We will bring you more audio from Arrowhead and just continue to catch our breath every few minutes. It's unbelievable. Just genuinely like something that I've never seen, that you've almost certainly never seen, that I'm not sure that we will ever see quite like that again, unless maybe we just get to watch that for the next decade, which I would also be completely fine with. Just unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. The other games this weekend, again, I mentioned this earlier, but like the other games this weekend are all 3-point games. This had the largest margin of victory of 6. Because they scored the touchdown in overtime. But everything in this league just balances on a razor's edge. There are so many different ways that this game could have ended. So many different times this could have ended. I'm watching Gabriel Davis highlights on ESPN right now. I'm not sure we mentioned Gabriel Davis's name this week. You knew who he was. Probably mentioned Emmanuel Sanders more often, even though I think Gabriel Davis had deserved that. But holy smokes, man, what an absolute trip. All right, we got to reset some things. I will tell you, though, that Tyreek Hill press conference, which was absolutely fantastic, is just the beginning of our locker room report, brought to you by Twin Peaks.
The Chiefs Locker Room Report is brought to you by Twin Peaks. No one does football like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, they have everything from tequila cocktails and an extensive bourbon category to top-shelf spirits and cocktails served over ice balls. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails round out an adventurous drink menu, second to none. And don't forget about their 29-degree man-sized drafts at Twin Peaks.
We need to take a quick timeout here on the Sports Radio 810 WHB Postgame Show. Appreciate Travis and Butch hanging online. Everybody else on hold right now as well. We'll get there as the press conferences begin to wrap up. But much like Tyreek on that punt return, we got little gaps to try to squeeze through here on the Sports Radio 810 WHB Postgame Show. It's brought to you by Missouri Lottery. Remember to play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. More play, more power. Powerball now on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Also brought to you by CBD American Shaman. Free CBD samples every day.
You're listening to exclusive post-game coverage on Kansas City's home for the NFL. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Brought to you by Casey's own CBD American Shaman. Come on into your local Shaman store for a free sample of stress-sacking CBD. Everything is better with the feather.
More play and more power with Powerball with Double Play. For an extra $1, players have the chance to win up to $10 million in a separate drawing. Plus, players have 3 nights a week to play Powerball. Now Monday nights. Every ticket you play creates opportunities for Missouri students. So play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. Play responsibly.
Listen up, sporting fans. Central Bank of the Midwest invites you to score a better banking experience with our new Sporting Checking account. Now you can show off your team spirit at the match or on the go with the official Sporting Debit Card. Plus, you'll gain access to Central Bank's award-winning mobile app with more than 30,000 reviews and a 4.9-star rating. So, score big today by opening your Sporting Checking account at any of our convenient Central Bank locations or by visiting sportingchecking.com. Member FDIC.
Do you really want to go through another year with that awful joint pain? Don't do it. Resolve right now to get yourself moving again for 2022. Hey, this is Stephen St. John. It's time to call QC Kinetics, non-surgical regenerative treatments for joint pain. We're talking lasting results using natural biologics. No surgery, no pain meds, no steroids, and no downtime. This is really exciting stuff. Regenerative, restorative treatments that actually encourage your body to heal itself using highly concentrated natural biologics. Patients rave about it for hip pain relief, knee pain relief, shoulder and back pain relief. Don't let them keep giving you steroids. And don't let them tell you surgery is your only option. Get a free second opinion at QC Kinetics and imagine life in 2022 without pain. Locations in Gladstone and off 435 and State Line. Call the local medical professionals at QC Kinetics now. 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics.
Kansas City knows a winner. And for selecting your next car, Aristocrat Motors Pre-Owned of Lee Summit is a winner. Aristocrat Motors means quality pre-owned vehicles. Combine that quality with the convenience of their pre-owned facility in Lee Summit and their largest selection ever, and it means they have a car, SUV, or sports car that will fit your needs. Aristocrat Motors Pre-Owned Lee Summit, 704 Southeast Oldham Road, just off Highway 150 and Hamlin Road, or online at aristocratmotorsls.com.
At Robert Brogdon's Olathe Kia, they're so confident in their new vehicles, they're offering a 90-day money-back guarantee with no mileage restriction. From the 2022 Kia Telluride to the 2022 Sportage or Soul, get what you absolutely want or return it if it's not right for you. Plus, all new Kias are backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Command the season in a new Kia from Robert Brogdon. Shop OlatheKia.com or stop by. Just a short drive from I-35. Customer must register vehicle. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details.
The Whole Person connects people with disabilities to the resources they need to live independently and enjoy the many opportunities this great city provides. We're focused on creating a fully accessible community where opportunities and choices are not limited by disability. The Whole Person delivers programs and services that enhance the confidence of people with disabilities by providing the skills needed to live, learn, and work in the Kansas City Metro. The Whole Person serves both Missouri and Kansas. Learn more by visiting thewholeperson.org. Do you feel valued and appreciated? Tired of where you currently are? Burned out or just burned up by the dealership game and corporate bureaucracy? We believe that you and your family deserve more than just a paycheck. We believe that you should be able to enjoy your job, enjoy your coworkers, and feel like you're making a difference. In short, we feel that you should feel appreciated. Kansas City Transportation Group is looking for a solid, honest, and reliable mechanic and auto tech. We offer flexible schedule, paid time off, and benefits for your family. If you're looking to upgrade your career and feel like what you're doing makes a difference, then apply at kctg.com.
When they're inside the 10, and remember, the game ends if Kansas City scores a touchdown.
Well, they went man-to-man. They had to risk it at this point a little bit. They haven't done that much playing single high man, and the perfect play call for the Chiefs, and here it is.
Mahomes has hit his last 8. Looking to the end zone for the win. He caught it. Ball game. Chiefs to the championship game.
A truly unbelievable exclamation point on a truly unbelievable game. How could anything else be our gem of the game, presented by Ruback Fine Jewelry? Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs on the path right now for a second ring. If you're looking to add a ring in your life, I cannot recommend Ruback highly enough. I can tell you that for sure because I did it. And it worked out. It's been going great, believe it or not, because I went to Ruback Fine Jewelry whenever it was finally time. Finally, yes, I know, finally. Finally time for me to get engagement ring shopping. I went to Ruback, and then I never had any desire or need or reason to ever go anywhere else. If you're in the space to be shopping for a piece of jewelry right now, go to ruback.co. That's ruback.co. And you can reach out to everyone there at Ruback, including Hal, who is the guy that will take care of your entire process. They're an absolute gem of a person and the absolute people you should have in charge of your ring buying needs for any occasion. Travis Kelsey here live on Sports Radio 810.
And how much they're influencing your career. Can you just explain what each of them do that is exceptional compared to most and how much that it helps you in moments like this?
I can't even put it into words, man. How much work we put in together and how much fun we have doing that. And then to go out there and put our entire goals, dreams, and aspirations out there and just bleed for every single person on this team and every single person in that stadium wearing red, man. That was a fun experience. I remember the catch and then seeing Tyreek standing over me calling game and then seeing Pat running over me. I'll remember that for the rest of my life.
Let's go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Travis, I know when the game's going on, you're doing what you can to win, and now you're happy that you won and you're moving on. But do you have a sense of what an epic game this was, that people are going to be talking about this game for a long, long time?
Yeah, I mean, the Buffalo Bills are one of the best football teams in the National Football League, and it's just they proved it tonight. And it was a situation where it's kind of was, whoever had the ball last was going to win that game. Both offenses were hitting up and down the field just about all night. And, I was just glad that our guys persevered for that win and battled our tails off for it.
Next to Matt Derrick. Good, Matt.
Hey, Travis, Coach Reid said that it felt like about 5 minutes before the officials told him that your touchdown was good, that they confirmed it with the replay booth. Did you have any sense that they were reviewing the play, or did you have any doubt that you had that?
I knew right away that it was a touchdown. I got full control of it, got both feet in the ground. I knew it was a touchdown right away.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go, Pete.
Hey, Travis, Patrick was talking about the 25-yard reception to put you guys in field goal range. He said that you saw something to exploit with the Bills defense. Can you just go into more maybe what you saw and what you were thinking through that play to get you guys in field goal range?
It's a pretty common defense in a situation like that. The defense will try and take away the sideline throws, kind of give you more of the seams and the middle of the field open. That and they're softened off so you can get a head start. And I just told them right before they called a timeout, right before we went out there and ran that play. And I told them I'm probably not going to run the route that it's called. I'm just going to run to the open area. And probably midway through his cadence, he was screaming at me at the line of scrimmage, "Do it!" Like, do it. And I was just like, "All right, here we go, boys." And it was just a little backyard football with a couple of seconds left that gave us an opportunity to win the game.
We got time for one more.
Or take the game into overtime, excuse me.
We got time for one more quick one. We'll go to Todd Lebo last. Go to Tom.
Hey, Travis, when you're in that play at that time, what's your mental clock like on how far you know you can go? Because you know you have to get down and give yourself up to get the timeout call. Were you peeking the scoreboard clock? What was your mental clock doing there?
Well, I mean, we rep these kind of plays all the time. So I mean, you have, because of how much practice and how many reps we have with these late game situations that Coach Reid loves to go over throughout the year, throughout training camp. You start to develop an understanding of the time and how much time it takes for an entire play to develop and how much time you have. That, and I mean, when you're a little kid, you're running around acting like you're Michael Jordan or something with 3 seconds left on the clock. Like, you naturally start to count in your head, and you start to understand how many seconds you really got. So from there, it was just going out and making sure I made the catch, got down and called timeout.
Travis, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
There's Travis Kelce live from Arrowhead here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Ooh, we might be getting Frank Clark as well, an extra player in the mix. Always happy to hear from anybody that we can get in the little celebration headed into a fourth consecutive AFC Championship game at Arrowhead Stadium. First team to ever host 4 consecutive conference championship games. I mean, unbelievable. Like, unbelievable and legitimately unprecedented. Here's Frank Clark live from Arrowhead.
Of course. Okay. Great. We'll go first to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Frank, in this game, you guys lost Tyrann Mathieu really early. I just was wondering how that might have impacted the team and how you felt you guys did without him.
Anytime you lose a player of, Tyrann's, caliber, your team's going to be affected. He leads us in so many different ways, on and off the field, just through his presence alone. He don't even have to say a word, his presence alone. You've seen that times during the game where we kind of struggled, whether it was pass rushing, getting the stops when we needed them. Also where you see, we gave up a few passes in the back end. Those are things when, Tyrann's there. He's able to help with the adjustments, help calm situations down and stuff like that, where it may seem like, things are kind of getting overhyped and stuff like that. So, anytime you lose a player like that, it's going to affect you. We missed him out there. It feels great that we was able to get the job done. Without him, I'm sure he's happy that, next week he's going to be able to, come back and show off and, do all the things that Tyrann does.
Let's go next to Lila. Go ahead, Lila.
Frank, Nick Bolton had, 2 really big plays there in the second and third quarter to force a 4th down. How big was his play for you guys, and kind of how unique is that for, a rookie to perform like that in the playoffs?
Very good. Nick's been playing great football all season. Coming in as a rookie, led the team in tackles, just very excited. It's still great just to be able to watch a young player come into himself. We're in playoffs, tougher football now. Where one mistake can change the game. And Nick's just been continuing to show why he deserves to be a professional here with the Kansas City Chiefs, and why he certainly should be considered one of the best rookies in the NFL.
Let's go next to Matt, Derrick. But Matt.
Hey, Frank, congratulations on the win. What's going through your mind there? You're on the sidelines, 13 seconds left. You're watching your offense go out there in overtime. What's going through your mind as you're watching that and watching what Mahomes is doing out there?
I mean, trust. The one thing you got to have in this sport, or not even really a sport, but when you have a team in a team setting, you got to have trust in your teammates. Anybody can go out there in an individual sport. They have to rely on themselves. You got to rely on yourself to execute well, got to rely on yourself to get the job done. But in this sport, unfortunately, you got to rely on 10 other guys when one of those guys out there on the field. And for Patch, he got 10 people around him who's going to help him win the football game. And then on defense, myself, I got another 10 around me who's going to help me, execute my responsibility to the best that I can. And, when everyone executes as one, as a unit, that's the best part of being a team. And, success comes out of it, no matter how it's earned.
Take two more. We'll go Todd Lebo and then Todd Palmer. Go ahead, Todd.
Frank, when you guys were out there in a good time for overtime and you guys win the toss, how gassed were you guys defensively? Were you ready to go out there and try to stop them? How relieved were you that you guys got the ball to go with, because it looked like the Bills' defense was gassed as well?
Yeah, I mean, being tired is part of the sport, but here at the Kansas City Chiefs, man, we do 18-play long drive drills in practice. So, you get into those situations in the game, and things get kind of tired and weary out there. But you think back to those practices in camp where you're on the field for 18 straight plays, and it's not that bad.
We'll go last to Todd Palmer. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, Frank, you guys are hosting the AFC Championship game for the 4th straight year. No team has ever done that in NFL history. So what does that say about this coaching staff, these players, this organization that you guys have found yourself in this spot again?
It's hats off, starting up top, to everyone up top who put the team, together, because, that's hard, when you bring in all these different personalities from different places, and, you got to add pieces and make changes throughout the middle of the season. Those things are hard. We come to work, we go on the field, we practice, we play a meeting and stuff like that. We don't really see what's going on behind the scenes, you know what I mean? But when you have to come in and your job is to come in and, figure out a roster, put together this roster, all these random guys, from different backgrounds and different places, different schools, basically so that we can compete in the end for one goal, and that's to win the Super Bowl. And, like I was saying, it's just hats off to the guys upstairs who, continue to do a great job putting the team together and continue just, adding the little pieces as we go along the way too, just to, make sure we stay on it. And, like I said, it's a great thing, just to have people up there doing that for us.
Frank, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you, man.
Frank Clark live here on Sports Radio 810 WHB Kansas City, the Sports Radio 810 WHB Postgame Show. Mark Donovan is apparently next up at the podium. My apologies to Travis and Butch. I didn't mean to leave you guys on hold for close to an hour, and you guys will be my first priority as soon as we are done hearing from the press conferences. My thanks and apologies. Also, Dan and Jabba on hold. We'll get to you guys shortly as well. But there's a lot to talk about here tonight, so I guess we're going to get Mark Donovan, president of the Chiefs.
We put out a press release tonight, so figured we'd take the opportunity to just hit some of the points from the press release. As we all know, everything fell into place for us tonight, all weekend long, really. So now we get to host the championship game. Tickets will go on sale tomorrow morning. The public on sale will be at 11 a.m. The season ticket members will be at 10 a.m. And then our Jackson County taxpayer benefit, that'll go at 8 a.m. The tickets are all mobile. There's a limit of 6. We know they'll go fast. You probably have already talked about this, but first team ever to host 4 championship games. Also the first team ever in the history of the league, because of the new structure, to host 3 straight home playoff games. Just wanted to take a second and talk about our fans. They're incredible. And we know this long run, year after year after year, having all these playoff games, they'd want nothing more. But we also know it's a burden, and we appreciate them. And as the players and coaches have said, they're a huge difference maker. They were a huge difference maker tonight, and we look forward to welcoming you all back here as loud as ever next Sunday. We're looking forward to the challenge, and we're excited to get back on that stage again.
Got a couple hands up. We'll go first to Todd Palmer. Go ahead, Todd.
Mark, I just wanted to get your perspective. I mean, the Chiefs had never even hosted an AFC Championship game. Here you guys are set to host for the 4th straight time. I mean, how unbelievable was that, 8-9 years ago to think that it would be in place? And what does it say about Andy and the coaches and the players and everything that's been assembled?
Yeah, I mean, it's the entire organization, right? You can go through the whole list to have a chance to get a coach like Andy Reid, to have Brett Veach and his team put together the talent that's on our roster. It all goes back to, I think it was 2008 or 2009. Clark made the statement that we're going to strive to create an organization that consistently competes for championships. And here we are hosting our 4th straight championship. Never been done before. It's special times to be a Chiefs fan. It's special times to be part of this organization. And I know Andy says it, Brett would say it, I will say it. We're grateful. We're grateful for the opportunity that we're given. We're also really grateful for the fans and the support they give us every week. They're a huge part of our success.
Let's go next to Steve Walls. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Mark, how's it going?
Great.
Hey, a lot of ups and downs in tonight's game. Just want to know, first of all, where does this rank for you as far as watching a playoff game with this magnitude? And also, when the last 13 seconds were on the clock and the Chiefs got the ball, what was going through your mind at that point?
Yeah, look, it ranks at the top. Rivals the Super Bowl for me just because that's the ultimate, right? But, that 13 seconds, I'd go back to the commitment and I would say the difference with our fans. Team comes into our house. Josh Allen does an amazing streak of plays. They score to go up, score a touchdown to go up with 13 seconds left. I would bet that in most stadiums, there are people heading for the doors. Nobody left. They knew we had a chance. And our players and our coaches rewarded them for that. And then they rewarded us. I mean, I can't say it enough. They were a huge part of tonight.
We'll go last to Darren Smith. Go ahead, Darren.
Hey, Mark, congratulations on the win tonight. It's easy to say that the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes and you don't. With the home field advantage, there's been reports, and I know you all probably wouldn't do something like this, but there's reports that the Los Angeles Rams are looking to, sell tickets in the LA zip code to keep, an X amount of San Francisco fans coming and taking over the stadium. Would you all think of doing anything like that, or you just, whatever happens, happens?
Our fans are going to buy the tickets. One of the reasons we limit it to 6 is to avoid some of that. The reality in the secondary ticket market, as we've talked about before, is people are selling tickets as they see fit. We go back to deliver the most value to our season ticket members. And the majority of the people in that building, the majority of the tickets sold go to season ticket members. So they're going to be out there the way they have. We have not considered that. We are not considering that for this week. We didn't consider it for last week. Every week it's a new challenge. This week it was sweet potatoes and other things. I'm sure next week it'll be a new one. But our team will be ready. And I would just make one last statement on that. As great as it is to have these games, really, really proud of our team. Every single week, the Arrowhead experience is the legend grows. And tonight's just another one of those examples. And I would just think back to every single person who works in this organization and every single effort they made to make sure every single person had the best possible experience they could have. Obviously, Patrick and Travis helped us sort of put the icing on the cake at the very end, but it's all part of this team and it's part of this family.
Mark, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate your time.
There's Mark Donovan, president of the Kansas City Chiefs. Most likely that is it for the press conferences. So there you go. Got some ticket information and an unprecedented 4th consecutive AFC Championship game at Arrowhead Stadium. ridiculous. We need to take a timeout, but not until after we hear from Travis and Butch. Appreciate you guys waiting on hold. Travis got in first. He gets to go first. Travis, thank you for waiting, sir. What's on your mind?
Holy crap, Brisco. Holy cow. First and foremost, I want to apologize to the Drake. I was all amped up and trying not to have a heart attack and called him Beard. So I know that's not a slight to Beard, but I'm just want to apologize to the Drake, let him know, I was just all juiced up and just wasn't paying attention to the voice.
He's rocking a beard right now, and I'm going to call him Beards at some point tonight probably, so you're good.
The next thing, I want to give a shout-out to the refs for letting these guys play football.
Mm.
They didn't make this game about them. This game might have looked a lot different if flags were flying all over the place. And kudos to the Zebras for letting these guys play tonight.
Yeah.
I want to say that. But I don't ever want to hear anybody compare another quarterback to my quarterback ever again. I'm done with all the. I don't even know how these national people on ESPN even have jobs with all their terrible takes about how Mahomes is not as good as Allen, or it's Herbert, or it's Lamar Jackson, or it's somebody. This guy is the greatest NFL quarterback on the planet. End of story, done deal. I know these other guys have to have, be a part of it, but he's the one that makes it go. He takes the criticism when they fail, and he also gets the glory when they win. And they're winning because of this guy. 15 is money, money, money. We don't win this game tonight without him on the field doing what he does. Before I get off, I do want to say one small thing.
Sure.
I think losing Tyrann Mathieu. This is the first time all season that I have looked at Tyrann Mathieu and been like, man, maybe we should try to figure out how to keep him.
Yeah.
Because that defense was lost when he left the game.
Yeah.
And I know he wasn't out there a lot, but they were confused. It looked like week 3, the week 3 defense, where they had no idea where they were supposed to be, people lining up different. And I want to live in this moment, and I want to enjoy it, and I'm not looking ahead, but just something to look forward to, or look to in the future. I do think we need 32 on that field next week and forward if we want to close this thing out, and that's all I'm going to say. You guys have an awesome day. Holy crap, best football game I've ever seen. Later, boys.
Appreciate it, Travis. No notes on anything that you had to say there. I'll tell you this. Here's how ruined my brain is. Whenever Tyrann Mathieu was injured early in the game, I did have the thought of I wonder what this defense will look like if they have to be without him for a little while, because we saw them have to do that in week 1 when he was out with COVID, but seeing it without him in the defense without him in the playoffs is a different animal. And I do think that you can fairly put some blame to the feet of Steve Spagnuolo, where if your defense falls apart whenever one guy isn't out there, that's not a great sign. And you could probably put a little bit of finger pointing in the general direction of they were running either 1 or 2 of their backup corners out there at a given time. That's all fair, I think. Regardless, it was a rough look. It was a rough look, and I do wonder what that's going to do to inform where they're at next this offseason going into next year. In concussion protocol and ruled out relatively quickly. We don't know what Tyrann Mathieu's status is going to be going into the Bengals game next week. I mentioned earlier, not sure how they're going to handle Jamar Chase. That would make it harder, although they dealt with Stephon Diggs really well tonight. And then Gabriel Davis played like the archangel that he's presumably named after. So you gotta pick your spots there, I suppose. Butch, you're next up, and I'm going to clear out Butch because I feel like you might have a little something for us.
As I call you from my native Duluth, Montreal, Quebec, Canada. That's right, I'm actually a French Canadian. Needs to find out tonight. Man, what did we just see? Frigid temperatures here in Canada as I dove into the snow. People staring at me, not knowing what's going on as I watch NFL football in one of the greatest games that the NFL has ever seen. I see it in Canada of all places. Do you realize what we just saw, JB? Man, let me go by it as quickly as I can. Buffalo tried earlier, showing great patience. They established the line of scrimmage. They gave us 11 bash. They gave us fast counter. They gave us fast counter week that broke us in that first drive. I can't believe they came out with such a great script. But we knew it was going to come to this, didn't we? We knew that Kansas City was going to have to establish the run. No! Andy Reid said, screw that! No, we don't care about establishing the run. With this front five, he spread the field. He gave them the different looks that he needed to see with inside-out match zone that they were playing. They tried to give us more coverages, but because Mahomes broke their coverages and their rules with his running game, they had to go basic. They had to go more two-man, and Andy got him. Patrick Mahomes got him. He split them for more than 340 yards. His games against number one defenses in the NFL has to be on a level we've never seen. It's such an amazing drive. It's such an amazing career to see. And if you don't have three of those Hall of Famers on your offense at this time, you lose that game. But I have to give it to Buffalo. I can't believe someone had to lose this game. This was a heartbreaker. I don't want to hear anything about what happened to this defense and Steve Spagnuolo and his play calls. You were without Tyrann Mathieu. 17, there is no way to defend him. Officially, they were supposed to win that game. But from the jaws of defeat, from everything that was supposed to go wrong for this team, with 13 seconds left, Patrick Mahomes completes a pass over the middle of the field. They were trying to protect the middle of the field the whole game, and Tyreek Hill runs it in for a touchdown. Then they get another field goal after getting 50 yards worth of offense, right, to go to overtime. And the way that they worked themselves down the field is reminiscent of what they did in Super Bowl 54, guys. Patrick Mahomes wore them down. He wore down a defense that's better than San Francisco's was in Super Bowl 54. Favored the flavor on this. It is unreal. It is at a level that I didn't think I would see because I did not pick the Kansas City Chiefs to win this game. They proved me wrong. Reclevra, Kansas City, the champions, their Super Bowl.
Butch brought that energy after being on hold for an hour. You saw two standards be set tonight. One is Patrick Mahomes at quarterbacking, and two is Butch at postgame phone calls. I like to leave his pot up there until he can hit hang up and we get the punctuation of that noise. Great work by Butch tonight. Oh, got a bilingual Butch phone call. Fantastic. We got to take a break in a second, but first, Dan, we'll get to you as well. Dan, I don't know if you've got just the English language or anything else. What you got, Dan?
Hey, Joshua, how you doing? I've been drinking my Miller Lite all night long. I had 2 cans. That was 2 cans now. A little bit loaded, but I'm doing okay. How about that great game win? That was just the best game I ever seen. While I was a little kid watching that Chiefs Dolphins Christmas game in 1971. Chiefs hung in there when they had to. I know Gabriel Davis had 201 yards, but great job by the Chiefs defense stopping Stephon Diggs. And what does Stephon Diggs think now? He had to watch the celebration of the AFC title game last year. Now he's got to go back home and watch the Chiefs celebrate again. How about those Bills fans? They thought they had us. And great job by the offensive line, just doing what they had to do. You know, it was just great to see. And I tell you something, I think Tyrann Mathieu should be okay. He'll be ready to go next week. And even he doesn't, I think the defensive line will get about 4 sacks on Joe Burrow, and just stop it. They'll do the job on the Jamar Chase. I think they'll do a pretty good job in getting Higgins too. So let's get this game next week and go to the Super Bowl again. Take care of yourself, Joshua.
Appreciate it, Dan. Always good to hear from you. Let's sneak in one more. Can you wave me off? Jake's not going to shake. No, I'm not looking. You can't shake me off if I don't look at you. Because Jabba's been waiting for like half an hour. We got to take a quick break. Let's get the Jabba. Jabba, hit me, sir.
How about those Chiefs?
How about him, Jabba?
Josh, man, 13 seconds?
13 seconds.
13 seconds and you drive down the field.
You've been on air for 13 seconds. Think about that. Yeah. I hit the button and put Jabba on now 20 seconds ago.
Hell yeah.
Kidding me?
Dude, Josh, man, what a game. Great atmosphere. A lot of Bills fans, but we shut them up.
I mean, were you there, Jabba? Were you at Arrowhead?
Oh yeah, I'm still at Arrowhead.
Oh.
They're shooting fireworks off in the parking lot and everything.
I can't imagine what it's like to be in that stadium when that is the game. I mean,
the first team to ever host 4 consecutive championship games.
First ever.
That's
Only
amazing.
ever. Unbelievable.
What did Mahomes have after 2 in the morning? Like 177 passing?
Something like that, yeah. The combined total for Mahomes and Josh Allen in the last 2 minutes was 221 passing yards. Not counting overtime. Not counting overtime.
That's so nuts.
Unbelievable. Anything else, Jabba, before we let you go?
We put Josh Allen's dick in the dirt.
I don't know if we can say that. Thank you, Jabba. I trust Jason to know what. I didn't hit the dump button. I figured that Jason could. He was talking.
Dump, time is longer than 13 seconds.
That's also true. He was talking. He knew that Josh Allen was a big fan of Dick Vermeil, and he's saying Josh Allen's version of Dick Vermeil was put into the dirt. I think that's what he meant. Another reason to watch the show on the video streams. There's no dump button for that. It's not an encouragement, everybody. We're going to keep looking out for troublemakers. When Beards is here, you can get stuff by the goalie. When Jason's here, no, you don't get anything by the Drake. That would have felt really gutsy. I would have said, you don't get bleeped by the Drake, and see what would have happened there. He is the Drake. He's Jason Justin on his side of the glass. Rudy Salazar roaming around the building. I am Joshua Brisco here. We are the trio for your Chiefs postgame show tonight here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. It's brought to you by the Missouri Lottery. If you like playing a few lucky numbers, would make sense. Remember to play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. More play, more power. Powerball now on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Also brought to you by CBD American Shaman. Free CBD samples every day. We'll come back and take a few more calls, get some audio, maybe in that order, maybe not. We're going to figure it out over the course of this break. We're all still, my heart rate is still probably at a relatively unhealthy resting level, which makes sense because the Chiefs defeated the Buffalo Bills 42-36 in overtime and will host their 4th consecutive AFC Championship game at Arrowhead Stadium next weekend.
You're listening to exclusive post-game coverage on Kansas City's home for the NFL, Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Remember to play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. More play, more power Powerball. Now on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturdays.
The home of the Jayhawks. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Bean looking right, throwing right, has a man at the 10. It's Trevor Wilson to the 5, to the end zone. He's in. Touchdown Jayhawks.
The official radio home for Kansas Athletics in Kansas City. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Ochai for the tie. Yes.
You're listening to the home of the Jayhawks. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi reportedly made up to $30 million in stock trading on big tech companies like Google, and these are the very same companies that her Congress should be regulating. After decades in public service, it's been reported that Pelosi has a worth of up to $250 million. Now, Grant Stinchfield is on Newsmax exposing Pelosi and her hypocrisy. Watch Stinchfield tonight. You'll be shocked by what you find out and how much some members of Congress are making on your dime. Tune in at 8 p.m. Eastern to Stinchfield on Newsmax, America's fastest-growing cable news channel. America trusts Newsmax for the real news you can't find anywhere else. Get Newsmax on every major cable system. If your cable operator doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want it. Or watch Newsmax free on your smart TV, like Samsung, Vizio, or LG. And streaming on Pluto, Zumo, Roku, and more. Millions of Americans just like you are turning off the old media for Newsmax. Watch Stinchfield tonight and find out why.
Hey Kansas City, it's Jeff Briggs with Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, home of the Victory Effect. Our pledge to drive down vehicle pricing for the city we love. The Start Something New sales event kicks off 2022, and interest rates remain close to all-time lows, plus trade values are bringing more than ever. It's a great time to buy. We know it's hard to find a replacement, but did you know if you custom order a new vehicle at Victory, you get to play best ball with the factory incentives? That's right. Get an accurate upfront price quote when you order today, and if the rebates are better when the vehicle arrives, the extra savings goes right in your pocket. It's a simple process, and we can show you how easy it is to customize a new vehicle and have it shipped directly to you. complete with your name personalized on the window sticker. And don't forget, if you have a trade, we buy your car at top dollar regardless of if you purchase a new vehicle from us or not. Visit us at Kansas City's only automotive outlet mall, the Legends Auto Plaza, on the southeast corner of 435 and Parallel, just east of Nebraska Furniture Mart, or online at victorymotorskc.com, where our first price is better than their last.
Hi there, Gary Giles with Giles & Jewelry. Everybody knows Giles & Jewelry is the place to buy an engagement ring. Thousands of diamond rings, quality second to nobody. Come on into Giles, 95th and Antioch, right in front of the big high B. Giles & Jewelry, we're the jewelers you'll recommend to your friends and family.
Giles & Jewelry, for the best that's yet to come.
Hey guys, it's Grunny here for my friends at CBD American Shaman. Man, I love football and I love big scores. When Kansas City scores, you score big at your local CBD American Shaman stores the day after the game. If Kansas City puts up 30, it's 30% off all the next day at your local CBD American Shaman store. If they put up 50, you got it, 50% off all the very next day. Now that's a big win. CBD American Shaman. Life is so much better with the feather.
Tired of searching for sports updates in different places? The Xfinity Sports Zone gives you the ultimate sports hub experience. Find games, commentary, news, and highlights all in one place. Use the voice remote to get instant access to stats and scores. Just say, "Show me NASCAR" or "Soccer scores." Plus, get notifications with breaking news alerts and more when the game's about to start. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store for details. Restrictions apply. Requires Xfinity TV service with X1.
It's going to be 49 yards is what it is. 49 yards to send it to overtime. Harrison Butker. I'm so nervous. So are hundreds of thousands around the planet. The kick is good. It's going overtime.
It's not often that our sweet play of the game is a kick, but in this case, not only was that play sweet, the entire Harrison Butker saga of an evening was pretty sweet because he put the Chiefs behind the 8 ball a little bit with 4 points or so that went off his foot that should have ended up going into the scoreboard and did not. But right there at the end, Harrison Butker hits the field goal as regulation expired. That is our sweet play of the game, brought to you by Andy's Frozen Custard. I feel like some Andy's Frozen Custard would be a real calming, delicious, cool, sweet little treat right now to bring you down from what you just watched. But, if you can't get there right now, obviously, swing by tomorrow. Swing by whenever you'd like, because there's a lot of great stuff at Andy's Frozen Custard. Their Cookie Casanova Jackhammer is back just for the new year. Hurry in for hot fudge, warm cookies, and frozen custard. Andy's Frozen Custard, we know where you got that grin. You might have gotten it from all of the fudge and custard and cookies. May have gotten it from an overtime victory. No reason not to be smiling tonight, as the Chiefs and Andy's Frozen Custard have given you plenty of reason to. We will get to Andy Reid in just a minute. We have his press conference ready for you here on the Sports Radio 810 WHB Postgame Show. It's brought to you by the Missouri Lottery. Remember to play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. More play, more power. Powerball now on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And brought to you by CBD American Shaman. Free CBD samples every day. A truly unbelievable night of football, and this is what my entire timeline is. I know that on some level we're being a little bit repetitive, right? Of okay, we're talking about how great this game was over and over. Here's the thing: this is a tweet from Frank Bowl, who you may know from these very airwaves or from approximately, let me check my notes, 400 years on television. That doesn't seem right. But Frank tweeted this. Whenever Frank Bowl tweets this, that means something here. I've played in a lot of football games, I've coached in a lot, and I've covered tons. I've never seen a game quite like the Bills versus Chiefs tonight. Not just a classic, but one of the greatest games of all time. And again, Frank has seen, since the sport was invented, I have to believe. We will hear if somebody else who has been in a lot of games, coached a lot of games, watched a lot of games, is of course Andy Reid. What did he have to say after tonight's game? We'll get to that here in just one second. But first, a quick timeout because Andy Reid's press conference is brought to you by Robert Brogdon Buick GMC and Robert Brogdon's Olathe Kia and Andy's Frozen Custard.
Andy Reid is presented by Robert Brogdon Buick GMC and Robert Brogdon's Olathe Kia. Visit BrogdonAutomotive.com. And by Andy's Frozen Custard. Let me tell you about my other favorite Andy, Andy from Andy's Frozen Custard. He's from KC, never misses a game, and serves the world's finest frozen custard. Grab a Pick 6 from one of 9 area locations and tailgate at Andy's. Grab one today.
We'll start from the top with Andy Reid. He's always got opening statements for the collected media, currently over Zoom, and I'm sure he had plenty to say about a fabulous football game. Here's head coach Andy Reid immediately as soon as he got to the podium there for the Chiefs' 42-36 victory in overtime over the Buffalo Bills.
Listen, I want to say our fans were unbelievable, the commitment in which they made for, these playoffs, and that goes into this win and then being there next week, I think is tremendous commitment and dedication to the Chiefs, and that's why it is the Chiefs Kingdom. So we appreciate every bit of it and the support. And then, listen, I mean, we just all were part of one of the better wins, better games, I should say, in the National Football League, and we were lucky to come out on that end of it. Guys battled their hearts out, both teams. I was proud of our guys for getting in there for 4 quarters and gutting it out. There were some huge plays made by the offense, defense, and special teams. And listen, I mean, it was a great game. I'm just kind of sorting it all out right now. My hat goes off to Sean McDermott. I know how hard he works, and Dable and Leslie Frazier. I mean, these guys, they spend a lot of time doing this likewise. And, it's a gut wrencher, but we appreciate the competition. It was a great game and for everybody to watch and to be a part of. So.
I mean, it truly was. And yeah, I mean, Andy Reid there, a guy that's been on both sides of some crazy football, understanding that other sideline is going to have a really brutal flight back to Buffalo, but no reason not to celebrate it from the Chiefs' perspective. He was asked about the emotions going through him and the players during those incredible, chaotic final 2 minutes of the game that included 3 lead changes, 1 tie, 25 points, and over 200 passing yards.
You know what, Herbie, is probably the same ones you were going through. It was ups and downs. The one thing that I love about this team is they didn't flinch. They kept focus. Nobody threw in the hat and quit. They just kept battling. I mean, we're there with 13 seconds left. Everybody's going, we got to go down and score and get a field goal. So points were big right at that point. So, and 3 in particular. So the guys just believed it, that it was going to get done, and much appreciated. And we've got, listen, Herbie, we got a great team coming in here, so we can enjoy this for about a minute, and then we got to get ourselves ready for Cincinnati.
Hey, Andy, I know when a game like this is going on, you're doing whatever you can just to try to win the game, and then when it's over now, you're really happy that you guys got it done. But do you have a sense of what an epic game this was? I mean, I think people are probably going to be talking about this one for a long time. Do you have a sense of what an epic game this was? And Brad, I'll have a second question as well.
Well, listen, I can tell by the excitement of our team and then, the way everybody ended up on the field. I mean, that doesn't happen very often. No fan, the fans all stayed, not a fan left. So you knew it was quite a grinder. And you're right, I was in the middle of it. However, our coaches did a great job. Eric Bieniemy, Spags, Dave Tobe. I mean, just of putting guys in positions to make plays, and then guys stepping up. I'm so proud of the guys for doing their part. And then, like I said, the guys didn't flinch, which is you talk about an epic game. Okay, well. That's the way the players took it. They had tremendous respect for Buffalo, and they knew it was going to be a battle, and they kept going, and they didn't lose trust in themselves. So that leads to epic games in this again with 2 good football teams.
It was an epic game. I just watched. I'll retweet this here on Twitter at JB Brisco. I just retweeted it just now. If you want to see for yourself a GIF version of the win probability of this game as it went, it peaks in Buffalo's direction early on and kind of slopes down to the Chiefs, and the Gabriel Davis touchdown followed by the missed field goal kind of pops it back a little bit closer to 50-50, but then the Chiefs really kind of take over again. It pops back to about the 60-ish% range and then kind of comes back down a little bit. And the end of the game is like a lie detector whenever somebody is just, my nose is 9 inches long. I went because like Pinocchio, right? It is just up, down, up, down, up, down. It is like 4 or 5 full scribbles that then gets right back down to 50 as the overtime is about to kick off, and then bang, the Chiefs win it in overtime. You're just not going to see a lot of games like this. And I said this leading up to this game and yesterday or earlier today. I don't remember. What is time at this point? It's nothing. But if this game was going to be close like this, I just wanted it to be close because it was incredible and because of incredible quarterback play from these two guys. I really like Josh Allen. I didn't out of college, to be clear. This was a surprise to me. Josh Allen in this form is only going to make the next 5 or 10 or, Lord willing, 15 years of football even more fun. At some point, he will probably rob the Chiefs of the ability to host the AFC Championship game at Arrowhead Stadium. At some point, that will probably happen. But there is something. And again, look, if you just want the Chiefs to win, I totally understand that. So feel free to shake me off on this one if that's where you're at. But there is something about Patrick Mahomes either being the villain to somebody else's team or being the superstar of the league, just barely pushing up against some other truly great competitors. Tom Brady, or let me flip it actually. Peyton Manning made Tom Brady better, more fun, and those games were on prime time or in the afternoon slot on CBS every time they played. I bet those two guys played very few noon games. I'm sure that the next couple of years would be perfectly fine and dandy for all of us if Patrick Mahomes won games against, Mason Rudolph or this year Ben Roethlisberger. Even having guys like Joe Burrow who seem like they're going to be one of those dudes that seem to have it. There's a decent number of those guys in the league right now. I think Josh Allen is on a different level than those other young guys. And Patrick Mahomes is on another level above even Josh Allen. It's just like you could not script a more fun direction for this league to be headed in. I hope that's one of the national takeaways from this game today. I hope it's not about, the overtime rule or mistakes or frankly even the defense. Again, we'll have plenty of time to freak out about the defense up against the Bengals next week. I hope we all appreciate what the bleep we just watched. Just incredible. I talked for too long. Jason, what number are we on? Are we on number 3 now? We're on number 3 now, right?
Sure.
That seems correct to me, I think. I think we're on number 3, and if not, we'll play number 3 twice. I'm sorry. I'm discombobulated. It was a heck of an experience. I'm sorry. I'm not going to apologize. I did apologize. Let's go to Andy Reid here. No, this is the money quote. I know we haven't played this one yet because I believe I know what he says here. Here's Andy Reid asked if he had any advice for Patrick Mahomes when Buffalo took the 36-33 lead late in the game and their conversation after it.
Yeah, when it's grim, be the Grim Reaper and go get it. So he did that. He made everybody around him better, which he is great at. And he just does it effortlessly. When it gets tough, he's going to be there battling, and players appreciate that.
Andy, what was your conversation like with Patrick after that game?
To be honest with you, I haven't seen him other than when the team was around. So it was a little crazy in the locker room, and everybody jumping on top of everybody. I mean, the guys are excited. That's the way you like it. I mean, I'm glad they're going to celebrate here for a little bit, and then, like I said, we've got a big one against Cincinnati coming, a good football team.
Now, I will say, I think Andy Reid just said we have a big win against Cincinnati. Maybe he said a big one. I'm going to say Andy Reid guaranteed victory there. More importantly, when it gets grim, go be the Grim Reaper? You kidding me? That's the coldest thing I've ever heard from Andy Reid in a post-game press conference. When it's grim, go be the Grim Reaper. Also, our own Rudy Salazar, and apparently some others, but I'm giving credit to Rudy, tweeted out that if you've been kind of lukewarm, as I certainly have been, on the nickname Showtime for Patrick Mahomes, there have been other Showtime things. There's an entire basketball team called the Showtime Lakers. And I'm not sure why he became Showtime necessarily. We don't have to force a nickname. You don't have to look around for one. Andy Reid gave it to you. Go be the Grim Reaper. And he went and did that. He took a scythe to the Bills' defense that had been pretty bleeping good this year, by the way. The Grim Reaper now belongs to Patrick Mahomes. That's his, as far as I'm concerned. That's my favorite of the nicknames, I think. And certainly the best of them in terms of the origin, because Andy Reid kind of gave it to him. That's pretty good. Played you the Harrison Butker tying field goal earlier. He had a really rough first, whatever it would have been, 59 and a half minutes or so of this game. Missed an extra point and then missed a long field goal right before the half. Andy Reid was asked about Harrison Butker being able to recover from those early game struggles and hitting that final field goal.
Yeah, no. Ultimate trust in Bud. He's done so well for the years that he's been here. And every once in a while, you're going to have a clunker or two. And, and whether it's the snap, the hold, the kick, there are a lot of things that go into it. But we have the ultimate trust in him coming back, and we showed it coming right back to him. So it wasn't, we knew points were important and no more important than with 3 seconds left in the game.
Again, if this game would have gone differently, or if Harrison Butker would have missed that kick, we would have spent some time talking about some places where the Chiefs gave up some points earlier because of some choices they made, or how they got to needing a field goal with 13 seconds left. This was not a flawless game by the Chiefs on a coaching or defensive perspective. It wasn't even flawless offensively, although the last 2 minutes would tell you otherwise. I just don't think I have the energy to be a downer on any of that stuff tonight. Not tonight, man. I mean, it's just... Never seen it. Never seen it. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, and that combination, by the way, is obviously the engine of this franchise's turnaround and the reason that they're hosting their 4th consecutive championship game. Ridiculous. But was there anything different from Patrick Mahomes this week in practice leading up to this game with a chance to get revenge against these Buffalo Bills? Here's what Andy Reid said whenever he was asked about that.
He doesn't look at it that. He looks at it like, I want to get you. And that's the way he approaches every day. Every time he comes in that huddle, he says, let's be great. And that's a great characteristic to have. And it doesn't come, when he says it, it's not corny. It doesn't come off that way. I mean, the guys believe in it, and he tries to do it every snap. So he handles himself the right way.
I mean, handling himself the right way at this point is an understatement, but also something you've heard from Andy Reid before. No surprises there. Here's the crazy thing. So again, this is a situation that could have been a lot more serious. This conversation could have been a lot less fun if it would have ended a little bit differently. Because I'm glad someone asked Andy Reid about this, because this could have been a big negative turning point on, to be clear, an outstanding play. But should Tyreek Hill have gone down short of the end zone at the end of the game there, would Andy Reid prefer the player to score or to go down at the 1 yard line to try to run up some more of the clock there? He's also asked how much time they spend kind of coaching up for those moments.
We wanted him to score. We probably would like to have had it with less time on the clock, but he was battling on that. There wasn't going to be any necessarily slowing him down. Just to get there was a feat. And so anyways, yeah.
Hey, Andy, I couldn't help but think back to the Dallas game a couple of years ago when you guys had a pretty incredible touchdown right at the end of the half. I was wondering, how much time do you spend on those end of game situations and for moments like that? And did this one work out about as perfectly as possible for you?
Yeah, well, you've been at training camp, so you guys know we spend a lot of time on different situations. We continue that through the year. And So every week we're working on something like that. And you don't get to use it very often, but when you do, it's good to be prepared, and then good to have the guys that we have and the coaches that all work together to help get the right plays in, and talking to the players. And EB's got a tremendous amount of poise during that time when you got a lot of people coming at you with different things. And so he just kind of calms the storm and goes forward.
Interesting. Andy Reid on the front end snuck in a little reminder of how important training camp is to those guys, and on the back end snuck in a little recommendation of how Eric Bieniemy handles those situations. If any other teams happen to be listening to Andy Reid's post-game press conference, Minnesota, Denver, lots of other teams without head coaches currently. Just a thought. Interesting all the way through there from Andy Reid, though. Also, I think that explanation on, hey, do you want Tyreek Hill to go down short there if he can? That was not a play where a player is wide open in nothing but space and slowing down by the goal line. I mean, that was, like Andy Reid said, he was battling to get to that point. I get it. I'm not super heated about it, but it would have been a tough loss or a tough point if they would have lost this game, but they didn't, so don't have to worry about it. Last thing here from Andy Reid, the final touchdown, Travis Kelce's in overtime. He was asked about that play and the makeup of that play.
Yeah, so you're talking about the overtime play?
Yes, the overtime.
Yeah, so the overtime play was just a double move off of one of Kelsey's favorite routes that he has, and that we call quite a little bit. Matter of fact, he had a big catch on it earlier in the game, and then it's just a double move off of that play, and he made a great catch. And that was a heck of a catch. I mean, it was such a heck of a catch that the official kept me right there and said the game's not over for, it felt like 5 minutes. Everybody was celebrating. I'm going, good luck getting everybody back. So.
That would have been a brutal challenge for the referees, but thankfully, they're replaying it on ESPN right now. I'm watching it in real time. I was pretty sure that was a touchdown. I did not think there was any question about if Travis Kelce had that ball, and just an unbelievable exclamation point on a football game that can only make you laugh. And Buffalo postgame right now is probably not laughing as much. We wouldn't be laughing as much if it wasn't the finish that we had. But I mean, he scored 25 points in the last 2 minutes. And your team, Chiefs fans, has the quarterback. Josh Allen is a fantastic one. Joe Burrow appears to be growing into a role as an excellent young quarterback. Your team has the guy. We'll hear from him next on the Sports Radio 810 WHB Postgame Show.
You're listening to exclusive postgame coverage on Kansas City's home for the NFL. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Brought to you by Casey's own CBD American Shaman. Come on into your local Shaman store for a free sample of stress-sacking CBD. Everything is better with the feather.
Robert Brogdon's Olathe Buick GMC is announcing a worry-free guarantee on new Buick and GMC purchases. That's right. Buy any vehicle, and if you don't love it, they'll take it back, no matter the mileage, and refund you 100% of the purchase price. They've got the area's best selection on new models like the 2022 GMC Yukon, Sierra 1500 Limited, and Buick Encore GX. With this offer, there's never been a better time to buy. Visit robertbrogdon.com or check them out at I-35 in Santa Fe in Olathe. Customer must register vehicle. See dealer for details.
Over 35 years ago, Wholesale Batteries opened their doors and sold their first battery. Times have changed, but their commitment to customer service is the same. The commitment they made back in 1977 stays true today. Wholesale Battery is one of the largest distributors of motorcycle batteries in the country. Stop in for anything you need for your motorcycle. They also have you taken care of for all your lawnmower needs, laptops, ATVs, power sports, computer backups, cell phones, portable electronics. When it comes to batteries, these guys have it all. Call 913-342-0113 or at wholesalebatteries.net. The right battery the first time.
Are you suffering from chronic joint pain like Heather?
I have terrible arthritis and have had it for quite a while, and I've gone to all kinds of doctors trying to figure out what to do, and everybody just said surgery, and surgery was months of rehab, and I didn't want to do that.
But then Heather discovered QC Kinetics, local medical professionals who specialize in natural biologic treatments, non-invasive solutions designed to repair and restore damaged tissue in your joints. And she absolutely loves the results.
I like to tell anybody who's suffering that there are options that are not steroids, that are not surgery. You owe it to yourself to find out about QC Kinetics and find out what they can do for you.
No surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Discover QC Kinetics and learn more about natural biologic treatments with lasting results.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics today, 816-412-6299.
More play and more power with Powerball with Double Play. For an extra $1, players have the chance to win up to $10 million in a separate drawing. Plus, players have 3 nights a week to play Powerball. Now Monday nights. Every ticket you play creates opportunities for Missouri students. So play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. Play responsibly.
Hey KC, this is Jack Johnson, the host of The Shift on ESPN Kansas City. Are you a fan of live music, karaoke nights, Saturday and Sunday brunches, and the best place in town to watch our hometown teams? Then there's no better spot to go to than Iron Horse Bar and Grill, located on the corner of Null and 151st Street in Leawood. Every Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., Iron Horse offers $3 wells, domestic bottles, drafts, and cans. Their food is made from scratch, having a great selection of apps such as brisket nachos, beer-battered onion rings, and fried pickles. So if you're looking for great food and a terrific time, come on out to Iron Horse Bar and Grill off 151st and Null in Leawood.
When you need a battery, it's Wholesale Batteries. Since 1977, Wholesale Batteries is one of the largest full-line battery suppliers in the Midwest, serving commercial, industrial, OEM, and retail customers. Call 913-342-0113. Wholesale Batteries, we give you the power.
Andy's Cookie Casanova Jackhammer is back, just for the new year. Hurry in for hot fudge, warm cookies, and frozen custard. Andy's Frozen Custard. We know where you got that grin.
Join Union Broadcasting in thanking local companies that care. Companies that care is an effort to let you know about local companies giving back to our community. Union Broadcasting salutes Shamrock Roofing and Construction. Shamrock Roofing and Construction is proud to support Cars for Heroes, giving away over 300 cars a year to veterans and first responders in need of transportation. You can donate a car and learn more about Cars for Heroes by visiting their website at carsforheroes.org. Thank you to Shamrock Roofing and Construction for being a company that cares.
Down the middle. It's Hill in the open. Cuts it upfield. He might be gone. He is. Kansas City takes the lead with a minute to go from 64 incredible yards.
Truly unbelievable. And our play of the game brought to you by Central Bank of the Midwest. Just absolutely tremendous stuff from the incredibly explosive Tyreek Hill, from the hand of the incredible Patrick Mahomes. And then there were 2 more touchdowns and a field goal scored after that play that Tyreek Hill said he thought was going to end it. What a football game. We'll hear from Patrick Mahomes in just a second, but first I want to get our callers who are online right here, and then we'll take a little time out from the phones. But Devin, Kyle, and Sean have all been waiting, and we'll go in that order. Devin, thanks for waiting, my friend. What's going on?
Hey, Josh, how's it going?
Yeah, pretty good. Kind of crazy, but pretty good.
Yeah, I was in section 306, 3 rows from God at the stadium. It was fantastic.
What did God think? Did he say anything?
Oh, he was all of his favorite last 13 seconds. We were pretty confident with a minute 50 left with Mahomes.
Yeah.
With 13 seconds, it was like, we can do it maybe? Mahomes? But as Seth Kaiser says, this was an over-his-dead-body game.
Yes.
And Mahomes was just fantastic. I think we forgot about his throw early in the game to Tyreek where he sidearmed it to him because it was like a 30 ago. So that was just a fantastic game. I mean, best game I've ever been at Arrowhead. Just fantastic. I want to give 2 shout-outs real quick before I get off here. Tucker Franklin, Northwest grad with me. He does a fantastic job. And then Jordan Foote, both do a great job. I want to give them shout-outs in the show. Always with AES. Just great game. I'm not going to sleep tonight. Enjoy Monday, everybody.
Appreciate it, man. Well-earned shout-outs for Jordan and Tucker as well. Always welcome for a Tucker D. Franklin or a Jordan Foote shout-out on the show. They do great work on Twitter across many places. And Tucker, former AES intern, Jordan, now works here too. Like Infinity Stones, these boys. Collecting them all, like Pokemon. Next up, we got Sean in New Jersey. Sean, what's up?
Yeah, what's going on, fellas? Yeah, I just wanted to comment on the game. Great game tonight. It was on the edge. I know everybody, if a Kansas City Chiefs fan, was on the edge. You know, Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, hats off to them. They played us tough. But this is the normal. This is going to be the normal. Everybody's coming for us. You know, everybody's coming for us, and the Chiefs, they found a way to win, and they did it again in overtime. You know, Mahomes to Kelsey, what a great look. But this is the normal. You know, we are the advocates. We are the villains. So, you know, we're the villains now.
Yeah.
So, you know, everybody's coming for us. They're gonna build the rosters up. They're gonna do what they got to do to beat the Chiefs. But this upcoming week, the Bengals, you know, versus the Chiefs, it's going to be a tough game again. You know, Joe Burrow, he's a good quarterback. The Bengals got a good young team, so we're at home again, and I think it's going to be another close game like we've seen tonight. So I'll listen off the radio, go Chiefs, and I'm looking forward to another Super Bowl, another AFC Championship win, and let's go.
Appreciate it, Sean. I agree with that. Here's the thing. I want to take something and agree with it, and take a part of it and tweak it, just so we're all in the same place with the brainwaves here. This is the new normal for the Chiefs, but also do not think that this is normal anywhere in the sport. I appreciate the incredible thing that you're watching, and then realize that Patrick Mahomes does do this on a pretty regular basis. That's insane. It's unbelievable. We've watched Tom Brady do it. I thought they were going to win that game today until, I still think they might. I still think the Bucs might come back and beat the Rams. I still think it's still too early to count out touchdown Tom. All right? I've learned my lesson there. The Chiefs are that to everybody else. My favorite word that Sean used there was villain. The Chiefs are going to be villains. And here's what you need to remember as a Chiefs fan in Kansas City or anywhere around right now. But as a Chiefs fan, here's what you ought to get ready for. Josh Allen is going to be the guy that overtakes Patrick Mahomes. Joe Burrow is going to be the guy that overtakes Patrick Mahomes. Lamar Jackson is going to be the guy that takes over Patrick Mahomes. Justin Herbert is going to be the guy that takes over Patrick Mahomes. It might still be Tom Brady who takes over Patrick Mahomes. Those are going to be the things people tell you for a long time. Somebody mentioned this earlier as well. The national narratives here are insane. Like, it's why does everybody feel the need to say that Patrick Mahomes is about to fall off or something along those lines? Or they're going to even just get beat, or that someone else is going to take over. The reason is because, especially nationally, it's also one of the reasons that the Alex Smith teams that were still pretty good didn't get all the national coverage that you may have wanted. We get bored with the incredible greatness of dominance. It is why there are so many people that don't like LeBron James. It is why there are so many people that hated the Patriots. You can say Spygate, Deflategate, various gates. But what it really was is that they were too damn good. Made things not fun anymore. Because you just knew it was the Patriots. Now, for the Patriots, I don't think they thought it was not fun. For the Kansas City Chiefs, 4 AFC Championship games in Arrowhead Stadium 4 years in a row for the first time in NFL history. Feels pretty fun to me. Seems like it feels pretty fun to all of you. Makes sense. Feels fun. But you should be aware of what it's going to look like whenever everyone else wants to predict the downfall of the boring, dominant team. Not that anything about this team is boring, actually, but picking the same team in the Super Bowl every year is boring. Even if you're a huge Chiefs believer and you have picked the Chiefs to make it to the Super Bowl each of these last 5 years, you probably have switched NFC teams. You probably haven't just said Chiefs Packers 4 years in a row. Because it's not very fun. Throw the Saints in there 1 year, throw the Bucs in there last year. Maybe you were a believer in the Eagles at some point. I don't know. That is the grinding, sanding down of the price of being truly great. Everybody else wants to see if they can knock you off. Tonight, the Chiefs took a great punch from the Buffalo Bills and hit back about 13 seconds worth harder. One overtime possession harder. Fantastic. One more call here. We'll get to Kyle. Kyle, tell me what's on your mind.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. Man, I love listening to your show after every game. You guys do a fantastic job, by the way. So
Thank
I want to give you guys number one on that.
Appreciate that.
And by the way, all the guys on 810, give you all props to you all guys that work at 810. You guys have definitely put in a lot of hard work. And you guys do a fantastic job.
Thank you.
So I just want to give you all guys the credit.
I appreciate that.
You know what? I told all my friends this, and I listened to a lot of ESPN. I'm a sports nerd, like all of you guys. I'm a sports nerd, and I picked Buffalo to win.
Mm-hmm.
My first prediction was 36-33, and then I looked at the Buffalo's offense and on their side of the ball, on both sides, and let me tell you what, they almost got the same team as the Chiefs do. And I picked the Bills to win this game. But I am so happy that I am wrong. And I've been telling all my friends, and I'm going to tell all of Kansas City that I am so happy that I am wrong. It was exciting. I actually cried after the game because I didn't think we were going to win this game, even after the Bills scored their last touchdown with 13 seconds left. I didn't think we were going to win. And
a reasonable thing to assume because people don't win in that spot.
No, they absolutely don't. You know, but but Mahomes, when you look at the last drive, before we went to overtime, you cannot put the ball in that. And I mean, those two, those were heck of Tyreek Hill and Kelsey. You cannot. I mean, yeah, you want to talk about the great quarterback, Mahomes, and of course he's great. I always joke with my friends we should trade him for Trevor Lawrence, and I'm joking when I say that. I always joke when I say that. But,
right.
But anyway, I look at Hill, you look at Kelsey. You want to talk about Mahomes, but you cannot forget about the wide receivers.
Absolutely.
Because without them, we wouldn't be in this spot as well. Like Kelsey, Hill, Hardman even had a great game today.
Yes.
And we needed Hardman to step up because this year he's been struggling. And what caught my eye was in this postseason game, I'm like, man, Hardman hasn't gotten the ball until he had that first touchdown that put us in the lead. I forget when it was in the third quarter, I believe. It was either in the third or late in the second quarter where he ran and got the touchdown. And then he made another big play and when we needed him to in overtime. So Hardman, Pringle, Hill, Kelsey, we don't win this game without those guys as well. I mean, our offense just played. I give our offense an A- for this game because of the reason I give him an A- is because Butker missed his four
points of
points.
yeah.
But if you look at our offense, A- all around, did not turn the ball over, made plays when they needed to, and I just am so happy that I was so wrong about tonight's game. Just an absolute. I'm about to cry again. Actually.
Well, I'll let you go so you can do that with yourself if you need to, Kyle.
But you guys I'll listen off the air, guys. But thank you so much for taking my call, and you guys once again do a fantastic job. And by the way, how about those Chiefs?
Thank you, Kyle. I really appreciate that. The kind words as well. I'm always glad to be flattered. Even if you want to also compliment everybody else here at 810, if you say it to me, it really becomes my compliment in my own eyes. So I really appreciate that, Kyle. Two quick things there that he touched on that I do think we should be mentioning more and again. One is he mentioned both Byron Pringle and McCole Hardman, and we said this a little earlier, and I'll say it again now. Both of these guys have roles on this team where they have really, I think, over the course of the year, grown into them. There's a lot of preseason hype around McCole Hardman. Can he step up with Sammy Watkins being out? And he hasn't played anywhere in that role at all. I don't expect him necessarily to ever play in that role. But the way we look at roles and expectations totally changes how we actually evaluate these players. McCole Hardman and Byron Pringle are discussed in completely different ways despite having relatively similar stat lines and also very different usage. Like, there's a lot of different. I'm not going to just point at the box score and tell you those two dudes are the same. They're incredibly different as receivers. But they both do things for this offense that are really valuable. I think the Chiefs should use the presumed 32nd overall pick. I'm feeling feisty this year, and use it on a wide receiver that's built like a guy who can win outside and win up, and see what this offense looks like. If you add yourself, another alien of a different sort playing big outside. I'd love to see that, but I also think that Byron Pringle and Mecole Hardman will both have roles on this offense for years to come if they're able to keep that band together. And we don't need either of them to be peak Sammy Watkins or a replacement for Tyreek Hill. You should appreciate them in the roles that they have, and they've really, I think, grown into those pretty well. Also, on the Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill front, Kyle's absolutely right. We will talk about Patrick Mahomes as much as he deserves, I think. We might be watching. I'm trying not to say too much here. When this is all said and done, I think you're going to be able to build an argument that you're watching at least the greatest trio in football history for a quarterback and a couple of pass catchers. Maybe just two weapons, and it's so hard to separate the pass catchers from the quarterbacks. But Travis Kelce has a greatest of all time argument at his position. That catch in the end zone tonight does not get made by very many tight ends, and he does so much, so many times across the course of a game. Tyreek Hill is different. Different speed, different quickness, different short space agility. You might legitimately be watching the best trio ever. And if not ever, genuinely, truly in that conversation. So I do hope that we appreciate. It was easier to appreciate, Tony Gonzalez and Jamal Charles whenever they were playing on teams that didn't have a lot of other greatness to distract from their own. Obviously, those guys are incredibly great. But when they're the only bright spot for a chunk of a miserable season, you appreciate them. Everybody had a Tony Gonzalez jersey or a Jamal Charles one. Now you got choices. So appreciate what you're seeing from Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, because the quarterback throwing to them is made better because of both of them. They're both made better because of Patrick Mahomes. All three of them are better because of Andy Reid. All three of them make Andy Reid better. It is a truly incredible symbiotic relationship that entire group has. I told you we'd do that this segment, this segment of hearing from Patrick Mahomes, and I was wrong. I have led you astray, and I apologize. That's on me. We will get you Patrick Mahomes' press conference, I promise, whenever we come back from this break. And if we don't, then, I don't know, Jason will come in here and chuck me off the balcony or something. I don't know. That feels like a lot of energy for you to expel at 11 p.m. But we'll hear from Patrick Mahomes on the other side of this break here on the Sports Radio 810 WHB Postgame Show, brought to you by the Missouri Lottery. Remember to play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. More play and more power with Powerball with Double Play. For an extra $1, players have the chance to win up to $10 million in a separate drawing. Missouri Lottery, play responsibly. Also brought to you by CBD American Shaman. When Kansas City scores, you score big at your local CBD American Shaman. Our team's score is your percent off. They scored 42 points, so you get 42% off all day tomorrow. CBD American Shaman, life is better with the feather.
You're listening to exclusive post-game coverage on Kansas City's home for the NFL. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Remember to play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. More play, more power Powerball. Now on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturdays.
WHB Kansas City.
Hey guys, it's Grunny here for my friends at CBD American Shaman. Man, I love football and I love big scores. When Kansas City scores, you score big at your local CBD American Shaman stores the day after the game. If Kansas City puts up 30, it's 30% off all the next day at your local CBD American Shaman store. If they put up 50, you got it, 50% off all the very next day. Now that's a big win. CBD American Shaman. Life is so much better with the feather.
Do you know what the top 3 New Year's resolutions are? Losing weight, quitting smoking, and paying off credit cards. A1 Mortgage can't help you lose those pounds or put out the smoke, but we can help you with a fast, easy refinance that will knock out that credit card debt. Call A1 Mortgage at 816-822-8888. That's 822-8888, or apply online at a1mortgage.com. Contact A1 Mortgage and ask about the fast, easy refinance that has no out-of-pocket closing costs, no application fee, and you can even skip 2 months of payments. So call your doctor about losing those holiday pounds and kicking the nicotine. Call A1 Mortgage about helping with those holiday bills. 816-822-8888 That's 822-8888 or apply online at a1mortgage.com.
A1 Mortgage, making your dreams a reality is what we do.
A1 Mortgage Group, LLC, a Kansas and Missouri licensed mortgage company, NMLS 268370. Terms and conditions apply, subject to change without notice.
You trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance, all without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
Hey, Kansas City, it's Jeff Briggs with Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, home of the Victory Effect. Our pledge to drive down vehicle pricing for the city we love. The Start Something New sales event kicks off 2022, and interest rates remain close to all-time lows, plus trade values are bringing more than ever. It's a great time to buy. We know it's hard to find a replacement, but did you know if you custom order a new vehicle at Victory, you get to play best ball with the factory incentives? That's right. Get an accurate upfront price quote when you order today, and if the rebates are better when the vehicle arrives, the extra savings goes right in your pocket. It's a simple process, and we can show you how easy it is to customize a new vehicle and have it shipped directly to you, complete with your name personalized on the window sticker. And don't forget, if you have a trade, we buy your car at top dollar regardless of if you purchase a new vehicle from us or not. Visit us at Kansas City's only automotive outlet mall, the Legends Auto Plaza, on the southeast corner of 435 and Parallel, just east of Nebraska Furniture Mart, or online at victorymotorskc.com, where our first price is better than their last.
Paid for by government.com.
Have you heard? A recent stash of 1878 $10 Gold Liberty coins has been found. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. These gorgeous 1878p gold coins are scarce. Only 73,780 were originally minted. Less than 30 of these gold coins are available. Just call 1-800-333-2210 and you are guaranteed an 1878 $10 Gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold coins from 1878 are still in almost uncirculated condition. That is 143 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-333-2210. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-333-2210 now to secure your own 1878p $10 Gold Liberty coin before they sell out. That's 1-800-333-2210.
Over 35 years ago, Wholesale Batteries opened their doors and sold their first battery. Times have changed, but their commitment to customer service is the same. The commitment they made back in 1977 stays true today. Wholesale Battery is one of the largest distributors of motorcycle batteries in the country. Stop in for anything you need for your motorcycle. They also have you taken care of for all your lawnmower needs, laptops, ATVs, power sports, computer backups, cell phones, portable electronics. When it comes to batteries, these guys have it all. Call 913-342-0113 or at wholesalebatteries.net. The right battery the first time.
Hey, KC, this is Jack Johnson from The Shift on ESPN Kansas City to tell you about the law firm of Garrettson and Toth. They handle the most complex felony, federal, or state criminal defense cases. What sets them apart, though, from the average criminal defense firm is that they were prosecutors for 25 years. If you have any doubts, just Google them. You'll find that they have been doing this successfully, helping criminal defendants all over the Kansas City area for years. If you or someone you know are in trouble, call Garrettson and Toth. They can help no matter the size of the problem.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
Here's Hardman. Takes the handoff. Oh, somehow they missed him. He dives and he scores. Oh, my goodness. How did that happen?
McCole Hardman with an unbelievable touchdown there. Nice to see the ball in McCole Hardman's hands and see him doing some truly fantastic things with it. That is good for our Andy Reid call of the game, brought to you by Subaru of Olathe. At Subaru of Olathe, we put you in the driver's seat. Shop your way, hassle-free, online, anytime at SubaruofOlathe.com. Just like you and your new Subaru, McCole Hardman absolutely off to the races there, speeding off with a nearly vehicular speed, I would say, because that's just what Mecole Hardman seems to have in the tank sometimes. Just an incredible play there, and some incredible stuff all night long from the Kansas City Chiefs offense and from the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback. We'll get to Patrick Mahomes' press conference here in about, about 30 seconds or so, right after this. Well, we have to play this thing, but I'm waiting for Jason. I was trying to read your eyes, Jason, and making sure that you look like you were searching still, and I didn't want to throw.
It was a no-look pass.
In a bad spot. See, this is why I'm no Patrick Mahomes. I'm not even sure if I'm Mecole Hardman. It's Shane Buechele and, skipped it off Travis Kelce shoelaces there.
Well, you are inactive tonight.
I'm inactive pretty much every night. We'll get to Patrick Mahomes right after this.
Patrick Mahomes' press conference is brought to you by your Kansas City Acura dealers. They are partnering with Patrick Mahomes in support of his 15 in the Mahomes Foundation. Test drive to make a difference and enter to win a Mahomes jersey. By Xfinity Internet. Stay connected with Wi-Fi coverage that delivers the speed, reliability, and coverage you need. Can your internet do that? And by Westlake Ace Hardware, your home convenience store. Ready with the best brands and the right advice you need to get your quick fixes done even quicker. Stop into your nearest neighborhood Westlake Ace Hardware today.
Starting off from the top here with Patrick Mahomes, he was asked if in the moment, if he had a sense of how epic of a game was coming together.
Yeah, for sure. It's actually funny. A couple weeks ago, maybe last week, I was talking to Mike Rimmers because he was in the Minnesota Miracle. And the final play, scoring the touchdown, winning the game at home. And he was talking about how awesome the environment was. And I was talking about how we had to play with Travis in the Chargers where he scored, but we weren't at Arrowhead. And so to be in this moment, this game against that team, and to make a play, to walk off a game at Arrowhead, I'll remember this for the rest of my life.
I think we all probably will. I was thinking about this earlier, and I don't want to be a total prisoner of the moment, but like the most incredible Chiefs football watching experiences that I have had. I have a real distinct memory of several moments in the AFC Championship game against the Titans to send the Chiefs to their first Super Bowl in my lifetime. Obviously, the Super Bowl win over the 49ers. I remember not having a ton of fun watching Chiefs Buccaneers, but I think this has to be right up there, very, very near the AFC Championship game and Super Bowl win. Not from, accomplishment territory. Again, I don't think the Chiefs are anywhere near satisfied with this, just from a pure, epic, instant classic perspective. This one's hard to beat. But also had to be a difficult moment to be in. Patrick Mahomes was asked what he did to keep the team focused for that final drive before overtime and what was said in those final moments after the game.
I mean, it wasn't hard to keep him focused. We believe. I think that's the biggest thing on this team is we believe no matter what, offense, defense, special teams, that we can do the job in order to win the football game. The first play, we hit hit Tyreek, and he got up as much as he can, got down. And then at the play to Travis, it was kind of a thing where he wasn't necessarily supposed to do that, but after the timeout, we got to look at what the defense was doing. And he actually said it to me. He's like, "Hey, if they do it again, I'm gonna take it right down the middle between both the guys guarding me." And he went up the field, I gave him the ball, and he got in field goal range.
Hey Patrick, a couple things. With 13 seconds left, what's said either to you or from you to somebody else in those moments?
I think it's just we're gonna go get in field goal range. I mean, that's all we could do at that moment was try to find a way to get in field goal range, and we have that belief. We have the belief that we're gonna do it. If you take it back to the year we lost the AFC Championship game, we got in field goal range in like 18 seconds or something like that. You have to have that belief. If you're not gonna go down fighting, then you don't deserve to be here. And we knew that if we could just give ourselves a chance to get in Butker's field goal range, he was gonna knock it in, and he did.
Similar to the LA finish, I just wanted to ask you, what did you say to Travis when you gave him a hug to end the game?
Same thing, man. I just love you, man. I mean, he made plays. Everybody did, but guys like Tyreek and Trav made plays when it counted, and they get so much attention every single week, and then they just continue to battle, and they battle and they battle, and I mean, they make plays when it counts, and they did today. I mean, the play to Tyreek and then the play to Trav, those are the two players on earth that can make those plays.
I don't think that's an exaggeration. That list might be a little bit longer than two or one, I guess, for each of those plays. But man, if it's longer than that, it's not by much. That list of just absolute elite players, and again, just the combination of what the Chiefs have right now is something that I hope everyone takes the time to enjoy, to appreciate, because I don't know if it gets better than this in sports. And they're hosting the AFC Championship game for the 4th year in a row. Patriots didn't do that. Like, the Golden State Warriors, I don't think were in 4 consecutive conference championship games, right? Ridiculous. It's unbelievable. I mentioned earlier that Andy Reid seems to have bestowed a new nickname upon Patrick Mahomes. When things look grim, be the Grim Reaper. Mahomes was asked about Andy Reid's advice that he gave there before that final drive.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus. He shoots us confidence. I mean, everybody on this team, he keeps bringing you confidence week in, week out, every single day. And that's what he said to me. And, I mean, he talked to everybody. He said, hey, we're going to go do this. We're going to get in field goal range. We're going to get points. And, I mean, he truly believes it. And when your coach believes in you that much, it gives you the belief to go out there and do it and execute it. And that's what we did today.
Patrick Mahomes having some issues with his voice there. Loud game, long game. It's really funny. We've all been there. Next up from Patrick Mahomes, again, the Grim Reaper. That's a nickname that I'm advocating for. You can make your own arguments if you want. We've tried some others. This one came naturally after maybe the greatest football game that's ever been played on planet Earth, so I'm partial to that one. Here's Patrick Mahomes talking about, and it's funny, so many of these questions have been about just like, yo, what was that game like for you? Which is not a criticism. It's what I've been doing now for 2 hours and 16 minutes. I'm going, man, did you guys see that? Like, yeah, of course, obviously you watched it or listened to it or whatever. Like, yeah, but that's been most of these questions. Patrick Mahomes got one here a little bit more about the adjustments in the game and how they were able to adjust to the Bills' defense in the second half and start picking up some of those big chunk plays.
Yeah, I mean, it's a similar thing. They started off with a lot of zone coverages, playing a lot of zone shells over the top. We took what was there. We ran the football. I ran whenever I had the opportunity to. And once they saw we were willing to do that, they had to come play more man coverages. And once they started playing man coverages, guys like Tyreek and Travis and McCole made plays happen. So, I mean, just taking what's there, and whenever we need to be aggressive, we can always be aggressive.
They were. For all of the times this offense was not able to get some of those chunk plays or to be aggressive this year, it was nice to see something just absolutely beautiful tonight. It's stupendous. And the real chunk of time there, those final 2 minutes of the game plus overtime, Mahomes was asked about that chunk and where that ranks as far as best performances in his career.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely special to win a game like this at Arrowhead. I mean, obviously.
Whoop. All right, we're good. We're all right. I thought my headphones cut out or something.
To be able to come back a couple of times, get points when we needed to get points, score touchdowns, get in field goal range, let Butker kick field goals. I'll remember it forever. And I'm kind of still, energy's still going. I'm still kind of amped up, but we got a big one this next week too. So I'll be ready to go next week as well. Just got to get back in that film room.
Next up here, again, beginning to look ahead, saying that it's special, of course, but here Patrick Mahomes was asked if he felt any extra motivation to get revenge tonight with it being against the Bills.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely don't want to lose to the same team twice. That'll give you a long off season to think about. But that's a really good football team that we're going to play. I mean, we played in the AFC Championship last year and played them now in the Divisional. We're going to play this team a lot. But to be able to go out there and execute and win a game against a great football team, that has a great quarterback and a great defense, is definitely it takes everybody, and I think that's what it did today.
You're not going to get Mahomes to say he needs extra motivation anywhere, but I don't even know if revenge against the Bills from Week 5 really holds a whole lot of water. But I'm kind of curious, if there's extra juice of. I mean, it's the stage, it's the opposing quarterback. It's everything, and it all worked together just absolutely perfectly here. Next up here, Patrick Mahomes asked by Darren Smith of these airwaves about what his message was to the fans leading up to the AFC Championship game as the Chiefs, I don't know if I've mentioned this yet, will host one at Arrowhead Stadium for the 4th consecutive time.
Yeah, I would just say that we love the support that they show us. I mean, we have such a home field advantage because of them. And them bringing that energy week in, week out, especially in the playoffs. Continue to be out here, be the best fan base in the entire country, and Arrowhead is going to be rocking.
It certainly will. I mean, tonight, again, people have called in from Arrowhead. I can't imagine what that environment was like. Just ludicrous. And actually, it was Nelly at halftime, wasn't it? That's a fun That's a fun joke about me confusing Nelly and Ludacris fakely. It was Ludacris, but Nelly was performing at halftime. Jason, do you get it? Jason's not laughing.
Oh, I got it.
You're not laughing, though. And it seems impossible that you would have gotten it and not laughed because it was so funny. He's still not laughing. Is Rudy laughing? Rudy's not laughing. Rudy's shaking his head at me. Is anyone laughing at that joke? Here's one more clip from Patrick Mahomes here. He was asked about this being the time in overtime where he got the ball first as compared to the game against the Patriots back in 2018 and his overall thoughts on the overtime rule as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out well for us this time, but it's sometimes whenever you got two teams going back and forth like you're going, it kind of stinks that you don't get to see the other guy go. But I'll take the win this time. Obviously, it hurt me last time. All you can do is play the rules the way that the rules are explained, and that's what we did today.
Fun fact, after that game, the Chiefs did propose a rule change. Didn't even get to a vote. So, hey, the Chiefs tried. The Chiefs tried to fix the overtime rules. You can direct your letters to the league office or whatever, and frankly, like I don't love the rule. I'd like to see both teams get a shot with the ball in overtime. Also, both teams had 94 possessions in the last 5 minutes of that game, it felt like. So, I mean, I think I said something along these lines after Chiefs-Patriots. If you want to make sure you don't get screwed over in overtime, win in regulation. And I genuinely kind of feel that way, other than I still also wouldn't mind the rule being better. You want to write your angry letters to Roger Goodell, that's fine. But don't use it as a reason to do anything other than highlight how absolutely bonkers this game was. We'll take a break and come back and talk about it with our friend Matt Derrick of Chiefs Digest next on the Sports Radio 810 WHB Postgame Show.
You're listening to exclusive postgame coverage on Kansas City's home for the NFL, Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Brought to you by Casey's own CBD American Shaman. Come on into your local Shaman store for a free sample of stress-sacking CBD. Everything is better with the feather.
Every weekday on Sports Radio 810, tune in to hear Kansas City's favorite local lineup. At 6 a.m., wake up with a Border Patrol with Stephen St. John and Nate Bucati. At 10, it's The Zone with Jason Anderson. Now at 2, get into the program with Soren Petro. And wrap up your day on Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco. Kansas City's hometown sports station. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
This is National Sports Handicapping Champion Lee Sterling of ParamountSports.com. You can catch me each week on Crunch Time and during the Zone on Fridays at 10:45 in the morning. Plus, every Sunday morning during Chiefs Tailgate to get you ready for the NFL action. I'll give you my thoughts and predictions and break down all the upcoming games in college football and the NFL. Also let you know about the weekly specials at ParamountSports.com.
Kansas City, you're on the clock. Jason Anderson here from MainStreetPreowned.com. If you've been looking for a used vehicle, MainStreetPreowned.com has it. All brands, over 500 used vehicles are available at MainStreetPreowned.com. Every used car, truck, and SUV comes with dealer cash rebates up to $2,000 just in time to pay off those credit cards from the holidays. They make the process easy, and they've got your vehicle now because they turn over the inventory every 15 days. MainStreetPreowned.com. That's MainStreetPreowned.com.
Hi, I'm Fred Ramsey. And I'm Mark Tobin. Hey, folks, if you're not busy Saturday mornings from 6 to 7 a.m., well, I hope you'll join us for the Midwest Outdoors, brought to you by Reed Chevrolet, St. Joe.
Join us and our expert guests, and we'll be talking about hunting and fishing, dog training. We'll give you tips, pass along stories, and most important, share some laughs along the way.
That's right. We cover it all, from crappie to waterfowl, and we'll tell you how to cook it, too.
The Midwest Outdoors, brought to you by Reed Chevrolet, Saturday morning, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
At Subaru of Olathe, we put you in the driver's seat with at-home test drives and a simplified buying process. Need service done on your Subaru? Subaru of Olathe will come to you and pick up your vehicle and return it after the work is done. For an easy, convenient, hassle-free buying experience, shop us online at SubaruofOlathe.com. We'll even deliver your new Subaru right to your door. So however you like to shop, online or in store, Subaru of Olathe puts you in the driver's seat. Get started today and shop our huge selection of vehicles your way at SubaruofOlathe.com.
Tired of searching for sports updates in different places? The Xfinity Sports Zone gives you the ultimate sports hub experience. Find games, commentary, news, and highlights all in one place. Use the voice remote to get instant access to stats and scores. Just say, "Show me NASCAR" or "Soccer scores." Plus, get notifications with breaking news alerts and more when the game's about to start. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store for details. Restrictions apply. Requires Xfinity TV service with X1.
Hey, KC, this is Jack Johnson from The Shift on ESPN Kansas City to tell you about the law firm of Garrettson and Toth. They handle the most complex felony, federal, or state criminal defense cases. What sets them apart, though, from the average criminal defense firm is that they were prosecutors for 25 years. If you have any doubts, just Google them. You'll find that they have been doing this successfully, helping criminal defendants all over the Kansas City area for years. If you or someone you know are in trouble, call Garrettson and Toth. They can help no matter the size of the problem.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
Your Kansas City Acura dealers are partnering with quarterback sensation Patrick Mahomes in support of his charity, 15 and the Mahomies, a foundation dedicated to improving the lives of children by focusing on health, wellness, and providing resources for communities in need. Test drive any Acura at J. Wolf Acura and J. Wolf Acura of Overland Park, and they'll make a donation on your behalf. Plus, you'll be entered for a chance to win a Patrick Mahomes jersey. Shop, save, and make a difference at your Kansas City Acura dealers.
Want to work in a place with great culture and possibilities for upward mobility? Shamrock Roofing is now hiring for multiple positions. Project managers start out making $50,000 to $75,000 per year with full benefits, no college degree required, and our top performers can make as much as $200,000 a year. We are also looking for business developers to help us expand to even more markets. At Shamrock Roofing, we develop our staff and promote from within. To get started today, visit shamrockroofer.com.
All right, they got to punt it again. Bills second best in the league in coverage. There was some pressure, and that one wobbles a bit to the 38. There's Hill. Now he turns it upfield, and he's still free. He's still free, stumbling and going. Still on his feet to the 15. And finally, the punter brings him down, but one of the pivotal moments in this game has just taken place. A 46-yard return.
Sorry, what was the exact phrase from Jim Nantz there at the very end? The momentum turning. I'm going to run that back real quick. Sorry, Rudy, to immediately give you a curveball. Hit that last final phrase there from Jim Nantz one more time.
And this game has just taken place. A 46-yard return.
I need the word right before that, actually.
Brings him down, but one of the pivotal moments in this game has just taken place. A 46-yard
one of the pivotal.
return.
Jim Nantz said right there, with 11 minutes and 45 seconds left, one of the pivotal moments in the game had taken place. The Chiefs turned that into merely a field goal, by the way. And then the Bills scored a touchdown. The Chiefs scored a touchdown. The Bills scored a touchdown. The Chiefs scored a field goal. The Chiefs scored a touchdown. That was one of the pivotal moments of the game at the time.
You remember when I came in and told you 1338, I believe, was the number?
Yes.
Because it was looking like that was before the chaos, Patrick Mahomes' last pass of the fourth quarter, and then the chaos ensued.
His last pass of the fourth quarter for a while was at the 13:38 mark. Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
4th and 5, Patrick Mahomes threw a pass to Byron Pringle. It was incomplete. Then the Bills had it for a decent drive. The Chiefs settled for the field goal at the end of that. And then the Bills went on a 17-play drive that took 7 minutes. And the Chiefs ultimately got the ball back with less than 2 minutes. And then they went and scored too fast. And then the Bills went and scored too fast. And then the Chiefs went and scored and then got the ball in overtime. And then went and scored again. Matt Derrick of ChiefsDigest.com has been with us here every postgame show this season. We've been talking to Matt for a long time. I consider Matt a true friend. And Matt, I ask you this question with all of that being said. Have you ever in your life seen a football game quite like that one?
In person, no. I mean, Chiefs-Rams in 2018 seemed pretty close
to
this, but not with what was at stake and not, with being in the postseason and everything. No.
No,
right? Because the actual game itself was not pristine. We have not spent much time tonight talking about this, and I'm very okay with that. I warned people at the beginning of the show. We were probably going to spend less time than was deserved on the Chiefs' defensive issues, on some of the shortcomings in this game. But the last 2 minutes of football, I mean, that whole fourth quarter, the fourth quarter of that game, hold on a second. Hold on. Everybody stop for a second. I have realized something. The fourth quarter of this game was 15-13. The Niners and Packers finished their game 13-10.
Yes.
What a weekend of football!
Yeah.
What was it like? What was it like at Arrowhead? What was it like even in the press box? I know there's no cheering in the press box. I understand. There's no cheering in the press box. There has to be some. Are you bleeping me in the press box, right?
There was plenty of that. There was absolutely that. There was plenty of probably different phrases that you can't say on the radio.
Yeah.
I probably uttered a few of them. I mean, there's certain things that you can't do, like take the Lord's name in vain and that kind of thing. And I think that was definitely done a few times. But yeah, I mean, mostly it was just sitting back and saying, "What? You couldn't make this up."
No.
If you tried to pitch me this story, and like, you know, if I went to go see a movie and it was like this, I'd say, this is ridiculous. This is even crazier than draft day. Oh. And I went back to look it up and everything. Let's see here. 7, 14, 21. Carry the denominator. You know, the Chiefs-Patriots game, AFC Championship game, I think there was only 30 points scored in the last 3 minutes and 32 seconds plus overtime. I mean, that game was played at a leisurely clip compared to this one. I mean, it took him almost 3 minutes and 32 seconds plus overtime to get to 30 points.
It's ridiculous. Were they even trying?
No. I mean, clearly not. I mean, unless you get to 31 points under 2 minutes plus overtime, then you're really talking.
It's just unbelievable. Again, so I mean, I know there's glass between the press box and Arrowhead, but it's also not perfectly soundproof. I don't think. I'm not sure if you got enough on the Nelly halftime show to give me notes on, but have you gotten? I mean, I'm not even asking this to just like get the obvious answer. I really don't know. Was Arrowhead at a different level for stretches of that, or like what? I mean, the back and forth swings at the end, even more so than just the speed and the points. The emotional swings of that game could have been fatal to somebody with a high heart rate.
You know, the crazy thing is that we kind of got a preview of it before the game because they were showing the Rams-Bucks game on the scoreboard in the stadium before kickoff. And every time one of those teams scored there at the end, I mean, it didn't seem like anybody in the crowd was rooting for one team or another because they just went crazy every time that somebody made a big play or scored in that one. And it was kind of crazy there at the end.
Yeah.
So we got kind of a preview of the crowd, loosened up a little bit. But I didn't really think that the crowd got that involved until that play that you're talking about. We were talking about coming into this with Jim Dance being, that memorable play that nobody remembers now with 12 minutes left. But, when Tyreek went back for that second punt after they accepted the penalty and made the Bills re-kick, they were trying to get the Tyreek chant going.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite 2016 Raiders Thursday night Tyreek chant, but they were working on it. And then, the last couple of minutes, this place was bananas. I mean, it was either, 140 some odd decibels or zero. I mean, because you could hear a pin drop with 13 seconds left.
What did you see from both quarterbacks? Because here's my take right now. I think Josh Allen is wonderful. Like I enjoy watching Josh Allen play football, maybe as much as any quarterback in this league not named Patrick Mahomes. And also, I think even for Chiefs fans, I think Josh Allen being stupendous is actually going to be good, maybe not for our heart health, but for our enjoyment of this sport, for however long these two are in the same conference and butting heads in playoff games, because I would like to watch Godzilla versus Kong every January and just watch a couple of absolute monsters exchange haymakers like this. This was more fun than Chiefs-Steelers. Worse for your heart, but a lot more fun. The performance from both of these guys, what can you say about Josh Allen and also, of course, an incredible game from Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, I mean, they're both ballers. I mean, they both are. I mean, they've got that gene, whatever it is in them, because they're both incredibly competitive. They don't have any give up in either one of them. I mean, there's fearlessness in both of them. I was thinking about this earlier today before the game even. It was like, okay, I was just thinking about what is Josh Allen? I mean, and I'm like, hey, is he one injury away from just not being that scary of a quarterback because, so much of what he's doing right now is running the football. I mean, maybe that's the case. I don't know. I really hope this guy stays healthy. I mean, just you have to hope it, because I think these guys could both just be absolutely generational players if they stay healthy for the next 10, 12, 15, some odd. Well, if they play like Brady, 25 years. I mean, and if you're Josh Allen and you're a Bills fan, it totally sucks that Patrick Mahomes exists, because you'd be going to a second straight Super Bowl if Patrick Mahomes decided to play baseball or basketball or something.
Matt, somewhere in there you turned into a little bit of a robot. I'm gonna have Rudy call you back it's the same number for you, but it's gonna be different for us. You hold tight for 1 second.
All right.
Cool. Thanks. We'll have Rudy, redial the outbound. Sorry to shake Matt off. All right. Sorry. It really is like it's. I've also had that thought of, if Josh Allen takes a big hit or just takes enough hits on his shoulder over time, could he see a quicker than usual sort of structural issue somewhere in there, like Cam Newton has seen over the last, what would that be, 4 or 5 years, something like that. And I don't know. I don't know if Josh Allen is going to be as sustainable as other quarterbacks may be. Patrick Mahomes is incredibly good at using his legs to pick up big chunk plays, but Josh Allen obviously takes more hits. Lamar Jackson to some extent, right? I just saw a mention of RG3 scroll by my timeline for totally different reasons. And so I don't know what the best comparison is. I like the Cam Newton one for Josh Allen, if not a step evolved past that. And Cam Newton won an MVP and played in a Super Bowl. Like, I don't want to shade Cam Newton, but I'm curious how Josh
passer,
Allen will.
I would say
That
I
seems
think
fair,
it's safe
right?
to say he's a more accurate passer. Cam Newton is the more dynamic runner, which is crazy to say when you watch Josh Allen run.
I'd also like to see Cam Newton healthy in 2022 playing in Brian Daboll's offense. I don't know that he ended up with the best world around him in Carolina ultimately. I don't know.
They did something very different. Carolina's plan
Who was his best pass catcher? Steve
Kelvin
Smith for a little bit, and then maybe Kelvin Benjamin for a year. I don't know.
Their thing was, we're going to give Cam, because he's a little inaccurate, all these big receivers who can't get open.
Yeah.
And the Bills were like, okay, we're going to give Josh all these receivers who just can straight up get open.
Yeah.
We're not too worried if they're big or not. They're just going to get open.
To that point, Matt Derrick of ChiefsDigest.com may as well reset. That's who we're talking to. You can follow him on Twitter at Matt Derrick as well. Read his work at ChiefsDigest.com. With all of that being said about these quarterbacks, feel free to wax eloquent about what you saw from Patrick Mahomes tonight.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm quite emotionally equipped to be able to fully do that.
I'll take drunken ramblings even. Like, that's where I'm at emotionally. I'm not even drunk yet.
The 188 yards after the 2-minute warning in the fourth quarter? I mean, that's ridiculous.
Stupid.
Tyreek Hill gave a peace sign to a guy who had the angle on him, who was farther down the field than him.
When it would have been better for him to come sliding to a halt at the 1-yard line. I don't begrudge Tyreek Hill for scoring there. As Andy Reid said, he was hauling, right? Like, that was not an easy kneel down.
He was hauling, and let's face it, I mean, there were 2 more scores after that. So,
right. Unbelievable. Ridiculous. Stupid.
Yeah, there's nothing about this game that was normal or makes any sense. But no, I mean, Mahomes, and here's the crazy thing, is that for 3 quarters and 13 minutes, Mahomes was really, really good. I mean, still like one of the best quarterbacks in the league good for 58 minutes. And then he went on a stretch of 2 minutes plus overtime where I mean, I asked him if he'd played a stretch like this before. I mean, the only thing he could come up with was, the last, 8 minutes of the fourth quarter at Super Bowl 54. And, I mean, I think it was right up there.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just most humans do not have this kind of mode.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you had just paid for admission to see Mahomes make that sidearm throw across his body at 100 miles an hour in the first half, I mean, you would have at least come to the game and said, you know what, hey, I saw Patrick Mahomes do something that most humans can't do.
Yes.
And then you saw him do that like about 8 times in the final 2 minutes and in overtime. I mean, I don't know. I've run out of adjectives for this guy. Yeah. I mean, I think we all have. So I don't know what we do anymore.
Give me how you're feeling about what the defense ultimately showed. Obviously, we've barely mentioned this tonight, but Tyrann Mathieu went out super early in the game. They were playing without Rashad Fitz, and they lost Charvarius Ward for a little bit and got him back ultimately. But, I mean, they were hurt. That unit has had its ups and downs all year anyway, obviously. More recently, it's been, stabilized, certainly. But they've had their issues, and their pass rush, to me, felt like it was a little bit underwhelming. That might be my eyes fooling me because Josh Allen is really good at making pass rushers look foolish. But what did you see from the defense kind of over the course of the game and then in that last 2 minutes or so?
Yeah, let's go glass half full first.
Yeah.
And, one, I'm going to start with Charvarius Ward because he and L'Jarius Sneed both spent most of the night on Stephon Diggs. And did you hear Stephon Diggs' name called?
I think the times I heard his name called was Tony Romo saying they haven't gotten to the Stephon Diggs yet.
I say this with a great deal of love because I now love Stephon Diggs because that hit that he put on the drunken idiot that ran onto the field was one of the best hits I have ever seen on a football field.
Oh wait, that wasn't Travis Kelce. He was wearing an 87 jersey. I just assumed that was Travis Kelce streaking across the middle.
Not Travis Kelce streaking across the field, but Stephon Diggs put a hit on that dude. Stephon Diggs is now one of my favorite football players of all time just because of that. I mean, that was. That was just a form hit from a wide receiver on a dude. Yeah. So nothing but mad respect for Stephon Diggs. But you didn't hear his name because Charvarius Ward clamped down on him. The pressure on Allen wasn't great, but at the same time, I thought that front four was incredibly disciplined. I mean, there was certainly some moments where you could see that they were definitely double teaming Chris Jones. They double teamed the crap out of Chris Jones on that Gabriel Davis touchdown deep down the middle past Juan Thornhill. I mean, that was clearly the key to that play. I mean, you don't double team Chris Jones there. That play probably doesn't develop. But Melvin Ingram and Frank Clark, I thought, played extremely well setting the edge because outside of the designed runs, you really didn't see Josh Allen escape that much and scramble for yardage, and that's usually something that he does in spades. So I thought they did a really good job with maintaining their gaps, maintaining their legs. We talked about that pregame show, and I think that the defensive line did exactly that. There were, I thought, some challenges early. They were throwing the ball a little bit at Devin Singletary out of the backfield towards Anthony Hitchens. And then you saw, Nick Bolton came in a little bit, and I thought played extremely well in some big situations for them. There were definitely some good plays made defensively. Now, Gabriel Davis scores 4 touchdowns. That's a bit of a problem. And Mike Hughes, if you are a close personal friend of Mike Hughes, give him a hug because he desperately needs one tonight. Just wasn't his night. Bad luck a couple of times. He fell down at one point. He got hit rubbed out of by L'Jarius Sneed on another play. So it wasn't entirely his fault, but there was no doubt. That was the guy that the Bills were targeting. They went after him all night long, and it made for a rough night for Mike Hughes.
Yeah, I just saw a video pop up. I obviously don't have the sound up on Twitter, but I did click play on it, and it is the falling down Mike Hughes play. And that highlight is brutal, but as soon as he falls in this video, the "We'll Be Right Back" from the Eric Andre show pops up, and it's a tough highlight. But you know what? I hope genuinely that he's having an okay night and was okay in the locker room because they won. This is a highlight we can chuckle at, but isn't the reason they lost the game because they didn't lose the game at all. So there's a silver lining. Do you want to be the first one, Matt, to give us a glimpse a glance ahead to Chiefs-Bengals?
I would love to. I mean, if I have the honor, why not?
Where are you at right now? What are you thinking? How do you feel?
I'm surprised that I'm seeing the opening spread coming out at 7 points, because you would think that with the way that the Bengals played the Chiefs first time around in Cincinnati, that would be maybe a little bit of a closer of a spread, and I certainly wouldn't be surprised if it moved towards the Bengals during the week. But the way the Chiefs are playing right now, I mean, this could be another shootout. I mean, and if that's the case, I think the Chiefs are equipped to play it and win it. But I think the one thing that certainly I think favors the Chiefs, two things that favor the Chiefs this time around. One is that they know what to expect up on them. I think the Bengals definitely snuck up on them a couple of weeks ago. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I mean, they just were not prepared for I don't think they were prepared for Joe Burrow. They were certainly not prepared for Jamar Chase. They were not prepared for the speed. There was a lot of things that just took them by surprise, and I don't think the Bengals are going to be able to do that second time around. The other part of it is that, it's the postseason. Go into the postseason, the more physical the football gets. And if that's the case, and it absolutely should be, the Chiefs probably just need to pull the playbook out of what, the Patriots did to Kansas City in 2018. You play the Bengals physical, you get in their face, the line of scrimmage, because the officials aren't going to call it. I mean, this is when you're allowed to be physical, and this is where the Chiefs' playoff experience should come in handy, because I think that they can get up and challenge the Bengals. I think the officials will let them do that. And that's what I think it's going to take to slow those guys down. So, between the Chiefs being better prepared, and I think probably being able to get away with more physical play and being prepared to play that way, I think all of that favors the Chiefs.
I don't know exactly how. One last thing, and we'll let you go, and you can resume your evening, and we'll begin to get close to the end of this show. I don't know the exact necessarily context of how this ended up getting sliced up. Beards is not here with us tonight. We had the Drake, Jason
R.I.P.
Justice, R.I.P., and Rudy Salazar has taken to the board now. But there is one more thing that I did want to touch on real quick.
At risk of looking like the biggest dope in the world during the postgame show, I'm going with a defensive struggle. I think that both these teams would be wise offensively to kind of test their jabs early to see what they're up against. I don't think either team wants to make those killer mistakes and turn the football over.
They didn't, by the way.
Buffalo,
no mistakes.
You attack those safeties downfield, that's a possibility. We know the Chiefs can have an opportunity to defense, so I think that and Josh Allen can turn over the football. So I think both sides would be wise to, be judicious with the football and make sure they're not putting themselves in the position where they're the ones making the mistakes. It's going to be up to defenses to this one, and if that's the case, I think the Chiefs have a better defense right now. I'm going with the Chiefs 21-17.
I am going to have Beards mark this, and if it is 21-17, that audio will never be heard again. If the game is 41-38, you will hear this audio post-game. That's the promise I can make to you.
I would expect nothing less from you.
42-36, Matt!
I would just like to point out, however, that with 11 and a half minutes to go
you were so
in
right.
this game,
yeah.
It was 23-21.
You're so right. You had 49 minutes of that. They just absolutely perfectly nailed, and then got drunk.
There's
neither team wanted to make the mistakes. Neither team did. There were no turnovers in this game.
There were no turnovers. Nailed it.
I love you, Matt. You're the best, man. Thank you so much for being here for this dumb show.
You know what? Was that me? Or did you have Field J from the pregame show? It sure wasn't him.
Yeah, that could have been anybody else. We'll recount the votes, and if you want to,
No predictions for the Bengals now. I'm done.
I'm so glad I asked because I'd completely forgotten. And if you could see the video feed of me realizing that we had that audio clip and needed to play it, I
knew it was coming. There's no doubt about that.
I forgot about it.
I'd have been disappointed in you if you didn't play that.
You almost escaped. Thank you, Matt. You're the best.
Thanks, Josh. Take care, everybody.
Matt Derrick of ChiefsDigest.com. Please go follow that man on Twitter. It's the least you can do for what we just did to him from an absolute... I don't remember what I predicted for this game. It definitely wasn't 42-36. Oh, it's so funny that my random dumb score was so close to the actual right answer. Matt's the best. You can read his work again at ChiefsDigest.com. I didn't even ask what he had been writing about. It both feels like it is noon and like it is 4 a.m. This show has gotten very weird just now, and I feel like it's fitting for a fabulous game that also got pretty weird. Go check out what his post-game coverage will be at ChiefsDigest.com. He asked a bunch of questions that you heard the answers to over the course of tonight's press conferences, and of course, you can follow him on Twitter at MattDerrick there. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's take a break here on the Sports Radio 810 WHB Postgame Show. It's brought to you by the Missouri Lottery and CBD American Shaman.
You're listening to exclusive post-game coverage on Kansas City's home for the NFL. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Remember to play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. More play, more Powerball. Now on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturdays.
Stephen St. John here from our friends at CarStar, the auto body repair experts. Are you ready to be part of a winning team? Kansas City Metro CarStar Collision Centers are seeking out experienced, quality-minded technicians that want to enjoy a family-owned business instead of the crazy corporate world. CarStar employees are their best asset, and they are treated that way. Great benefits, training, bonuses, and iCar certifications are available. Go to carstar.com to find a location that fits you. CarStar. Relax. They'll take it from here.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
I'm attorney Mike DePasquale. I played linebacker. I won a state championship. I played Division I ball. I know a thing or two about winning. A winning attitude starts with confidence. My law firm is so confident in what we do that if we take your injury case and we don't win, you don't pay us a dime. So if you've been hurt, call me. My team wants to win for you. I've got this.
Mike's got this. All you need to know. 816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hi, it's Tamara Day from HGTV's Bargain Mansions. Life moves fast. When you're house hunting, remodeling, and more, make the most of your time by contacting local lender Nutter Home Loans. I trust these home loan experts who have been independently owned for over 70 years. Ask about their no-cost home loan pre-approval or cashback refinance. It really is better at Nutter.
NutterHomeLoans.com. Not a commitment to lend. Loans available to qualified borrowers. James B. Nutter & Company, DBA Nutter Home Loans, NMLS 2067.
Listen up, sporting fans. Central Bank of the Midwest invites you to score a better banking experience with our new Sporting Checking account. Now you can show off your team spirit at the match or on the go with the official Sporting Debit Card. Plus, you'll gain access to Central Bank's award-winning mobile app with more than 30,000 reviews and a 4.9-star rating. So, score big today by opening your Sporting Checking account at any of our convenient Central Bank locations or by visiting sportingchecking.com. Member FDIC.
Inventory is starting to build up, selection is increasing, and the finance rates have remained low. It's the perfect time to make a move to an Aristocrat Motors of Lee Summit pre-owned vehicle. Choose from sports cars, sports sedans, trucks, and SUVs, all presented by our professional sales team in the best of facilities. Lee Summit has welcomed Aristocrat Motors of Lee Summit. Now let us welcome you to our home, 704 Southwest Oldham Court, or online at aristocratmotorsls.com.
Your Kansas City Symphony brings you another film plus live orchestra adventure, February 10th through 13th at the Kaufman Center. It's Star Wars, Return of the Jedi in concert. Luke Skywalker heads a mission to rescue Han Solo from the clutches of Jabba the Hutt and faces Darth Vader one last time. There's nothing else quite like your Kansas City Symphony performing John Williams' iconic score live while you watch the entire film. Find tickets now for Star Wars Return of the Jedi in concert at kcsymphony.org.
Premier Volvo Cars of Overland Park, Kansas City's home for new and certified pre-owned Volvo cars and SUVs. Right now, save thousands on all remaining 2021 new inventory. Premier Volvo Cars of Overland Park has the largest selection of new 2022 Volvos in the Midwest. Rates as low as 1.99% APR available on all certified pre-owned Volvo cars and SUVs. Just ask for Jimmy Loveland and tell him Sports Radio 810 sent you. Where luxury and safety meet. Premier Volvo Cars of Overland Park at 78th and Metcalf or at PremierVolvoCarsOverlandPark.com. See dealer for details.
Do you have a frog? You know, a freezing room over the garage? Now that everyone is home, are you looking to convert your frog into an office, a schoolroom, or a comfortable room to escape your family? With no ductwork required, Mitsubishi Electric offers room-by-room air filtration and precise temperature control. Let's help you turn those cold, uncomfortable spaces in your house into a space you and your family will really enjoy. To learn more about Mitsubishi Electric's solutions, visit keepkccool.com today. Now, they can help you whether you need to heat it up or cool it down. Mitsubishi's got you covered. Our biggest problem here in the Sports Radio 810 control room and studio was the heat. We've got a lot of windows and a lot of radio equipment, and our Mitsubishi unit has kept us cool for years. It works like a charm, and it works quickly, and it's whisper quiet. It's been a real game changer for us at Sports Radio 810. Check them out at keepkccool.com. That's keepkccool.com today.
Train for a profitable new career at Anthony, the fastest growing plumbing, heating, cooling, and electric company in Kansas City. We offer great pay, paid training, first-class benefits, and a work-life balance that will keep you and your family smiling. Come be part of a winning Kansas City tradition that has been serving families since 1951. If you have talent, try out for our team and make your family proud. Are you Anthony? We want to find out. Visit us today at anthonyphce.com.
Hey Kansas City, it's Jeff Briggs with Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, home of the Victory Effect. Our pledge to drive down vehicle pricing for the city we love. The Start Something New sales event kicks off 2022, and interest rates remain close to all-time lows, plus trade values are bringing more than ever. It's a great time to buy. We know it's hard to find a replacement, but did you know if you custom order a new vehicle at Victory, you get to play best ball with the factory incentives? That's right. Get an accurate upfront price quote when you order today, and if the rebates are better when the vehicle arrives, the extra savings goes right in your pocket. It's a simple process, and we can show you how easy it is to customize a new vehicle and have it shipped directly to you, complete with your name personalized on the window sticker. And don't forget, if you have a trade, we buy your car at top dollar regardless of if you purchase a new vehicle from us or not. Visit us at Kansas City's only automotive outlet mall, the Legends Auto Plaza, on the southeast corner of 435 and Parallel, just east of Nebraska Furniture Mart, or online at victorymotorskc.com, where our first price is better than their last.
Prime Lending's mortgage professionals are ready to assist you with your next home loan or refinance of your current residence. Prime Lending has 10 convenient locations to serve you. Visit whyprimelendingkc.com. That's WHYPrimelendingkc.com or call 816-600-4561. Prime Lending ranked #1 mortgage lender in the Kansas City, Missouri metro area market per Market Track January 2019 to October 2020. All loans subject to credit approval, rates and fees subject to change. Prime Lending, a Plains Capital Company, NMLS 13649, is an equal housing lender.
Worried about some serious weather coming this way? KC Weather can wreak havoc on your roof, and small problems can become big problems fast. The Shamrock Roofing team is here to help. Whether you are catching an issue before the storm or need help with damage after, our highly trained Shamrock team is here to help. Call Shamrock Roofing today at 913-850-6556 or shamrockroofer.com, and we will get a member of our team out to help you within 24 hours. Shamrock Roofing, where one call does it all.
For 11 years, Breaking the Norm has presented the best and most uplifting stories in sports, entertainment, and business, and we wouldn't be here without our amazing partners and you, our faithful listeners. Your stories of life change, loving others, and inspiration keep us dedicated to making a difference in the world, one story at a time. Tune in Tuesdays at 4 p.m. on ESPN Kansas City 94.5 FM and Saturday mornings at 7 on Sports Radio 810 WHB for something good, something positive, and something real on Breaking the Norm.
Hey guys, it's Grunny here for my friends at CBD American Shaman. Man, I love football and I love big scores. When Kansas City scores, you score big at your local CBD American Shaman stores the day after the game. If Kansas City puts up 30, it's 30% off all the next day at your local CBD American Shaman store. If they put up 50, you got it, 50% off all the very next day. Now that's a big win. CBD American Shaman. Life is so much better with the feather.
30% more meat. Good Sense, your favorite KC sub shop, is now serving 30% more meat on all their freshly sliced cold subs. Good Sense has always been the place to go for soft bread baked fresh twice each day, meat sliced to order, and their enormous 16-inch subs, so they were already good. Now with 30% more meat, they just got gooder. Stop by your locally owned Good Sense today to try the 30% meatier experience. Good Sense.
You're listening to the most powerful sports station in the country. Sports Radio 810, WHB Kansas City, the power of sports.
We had 2 touchdowns last week against the Steelers, had 2 touchdowns against the Steelers the day after Christmas. So we feasted on Pittsburgh in those 2 games. Oliver chasing after Mahomes, who slings it sidearm. Look at that throw. and Hill is there to catch it for a first down. I mean, he threw that, it's like it was right off the ground almost.
In a game absolutely packed with highlights, that's one that I am going to remember, because it's another one of those moments where Patrick Mahomes is just doing an entire and one mixtape for the Kansas City Chiefs as an absolute, an unstoppable alien from outer space. Just like what a football
Russo
game.
does his job. He puts his hands up to
that worked for him last time.
And for 99% of quarterbacks and 99.9% of throws like that, he deflects that ball.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe it's just an incomplete pass, whatever. And Mahomes is like, nope, not this time, buddy.
There's no muscle memory for, oh, maybe this ball is going to hit me at my hip. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's absolutely nonsense football play by a quarterback who does that all the time. Who did that like 6 times tonight. It's absolutely fantastic. I hope that you all are appreciating the greatness that you saw tonight, not just from Patrick Mahomes, but also from Josh Allen, and also, of course, from Tyreek Hill, from Travis Kelce. Just some absolutely unbelievable football players gracing your TV screens, your stadium, your field, and another AFC Championship game, which, by the way, you can hear live here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. We will have the AFC Championship game on these airwaves next week, and then after that is over, and maybe a little bit of Westwood One postgame coverage as well. We will be back, of course, with the Sports Radio 810 WHB postgame show. One of our wonderful friends helping us bring you this post-game show every week in these playoffs has been our friends over at Ruback Fine Jewelry. If you heard me last week or heard me earlier in the show, you may have the gist of it already, but I want to tell you at least a little bit about what they were able to do for me and what they can do for you if you are looking for a piece of jewelry for any reason, for anyone in your life. For me, it was an engagement ring that is an absolutely perfect piece of jewelry. I've posted some pictures in some various spots. One place I posted it was in a Google review for Ruback that you could go see if you want to look at other people's reviews for this place and realize this is a genuine 5-star A+ experience. And you can also see the ring that they made for me and then girlfriend, now fiance Renee, which sounds better anyway. Everything they do there is by appointment, so if you want to make an appointment with them, you should just do this now. If you have the inkling in your mind of, you know what? I am at a place where I want to start looking at engagement rings. What should I do? Or I do want to get a really Class A gift for Valentine's Day. For any reason, again, engagement rings are exactly where I went, why I went to them, why you should go to them if that's a place where you're at in your life. If you want anything else in the jewelry department, you would be doing yourself a disservice to go anywhere other than to Ruback. Whether you know exactly what you want or if you want to start from scratch and maybe go in like someone currently speaking to you right now and say, "Hi, Hal." You're going to want to talk to Hal. "Hi, Hal. I have very few ideas about where we should start this process. Here's an idea of my budget. Here's an idea of what she likes. Here's an idea of what I like. What should we do here?" That's what I did, and it is a stressful experience trying to figure out, hey, this one accessory that I want to buy for a loved one that they're going to wear every day forever. That's a pretty big jump to make in terms of making sure it is the perfect piece for that person. And Ruback, and specifically Hal, who is the guy to talk to as you go about this process of making your perfect engagement ring or a perfect gift for Valentine's Day, whatever it may be in your life. He made that process fun and also something that, this is pretty mushy, everybody, so get ready. But I'm really proud of the ring that Renee has. Partially because it is beautiful and wonderful and it looks like a piece that she should be wearing every day, and everyone who has seen it has said that to her. But also, I know about it. I know what makes that ring special, and ideas that Renee had are in that ring, or ideas that I had are actually, believe it or not, made of the ring. And of course, Hal and the crew that he works with at Ruback made it a beautiful experience and a beautiful final product. This is not some one dude at the front to tell you, but there's actually some huge corporation behind this. They're locally owned, family owned. They're a small business, all about building that relationship with you, and you are going to take advantage of that with them. from this first purchase, and hopefully, and for Renee and I, this will definitely be true for many years to come. I will not have any reason to go anywhere other than back to Ruback, and you should go there as well. They can make incredible custom work for you, and if you don't know where to start, just start with Ruback. Go to ruback.co. You can also follow them on Instagram, and you can see more pictures there as well, some from Renee and I, some from the other pieces they've made there. Ruback Fine Jewelry KC is the Instagram handle, RUBACK Fine Jewelry KC. Go to ruback.co. That's ruback.co, and set up your appointment to talk to Hal, even if it's just a phone call. Ask him a few questions, let him give you a few answers, and you will be glad you did. Thanks to Ruback for joining us for this playoff run. Also, thanks to you for joining us during this playoff run. I've really had a couple of pretty good days around here. Got to do a remote yesterday and meet a bunch of people that was really great to get to see and talk to in person. Really appreciate the kind words we've gotten over the phone calls this year as well. Had a great time doing the post-game show for you this season, and really, 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 really glad to have at least one more game. And if I had to make my hunch right now, make a quick bet, I'd say 2 more games of this post-game show and of this Chiefs season. So thanks for being along for the ride for that as well. Let's go to the Buffalo Bills side of things, though. I've told you many times over, I hope you respect and appreciate what Josh Allen did tonight in an incredible losing effort, which is the best way it could have gone from the Chiefs' perspective. Let's hear from Josh Allen and also Gabriel Davis. They did a little bit of a duo press conference together. Gabriel Davis with a playoff record, 4 receiving touchdowns, an incredible, incredible game for him, as the Chiefs defense did a really good job shutting down Stephon Diggs, but it was Gabriel Davis who rose up and had a career day to match with Josh Allen's, but again, falling just short, those Buffalo Bills. Here's Josh Allen and Gabriel Davis speaking to the media after the game.
Josh, obviously, the early reviews are this was one of the greatest playoff games ever played. Obviously, you guys didn't come out on the right side of it. What were the feelings in the locker room after everything you went through down the stretch?
Obviously, we're disappointed. Wanted to win that game. Obviously, everybody wants to win that game. There's only going to be one champion crowned at the end of the season, so that makes 31 unhappy teams. And hats off to the Chiefs and what they did today. Pat played amazing. Got a lot of respect for him and the Chiefs as a whole. They made one more play than we did. And that's what it came down to. But I'm proud of our guys, how we fought, how we battled, how we came through and persevered over some things throughout the course of this game and the course of the season. It obviously it hurts. You don't like feeling like this, especially back-to-back years at the same place. So we got to find a way to be better next year and to accomplish what we want to accomplish.
Gabriel, 4 touchdowns. Nobody's ever done that in the playoffs before. I mean, what was it about your guys' connection in this game and why it worked so well?
I mean, we were just, whoever had the opportunity to make a play, we were going to make it, and I had a lot of opportunities to win and was able to execute on those serves.
Hey, Josh, wanted to ask you about those last couple of minutes, or I guess I should say about the last, fourth quarter plus. The offense seemed to be able to do whatever it wanted, and that has to be an incredibly powerful feeling. Can you take us into that feel, whatever rhythm you guys were in or whatever you were seeing out there, and take us maybe through that that whole sequence?
Yeah, man, I think it started up front. Our front 5 did an outstanding job today against a really, really good defensive front. And then you look at outside, our guys are making plays, unbelievable catches, getting B's involved. Gabe making some unbelievable catches there. Obviously 4 touchdowns. You think he went 8 for 200 something. That's video game numbers, So we had our opportunities. We made some plays, but not enough to get the job done.
Oh, that was it. I think I got muted because we have some background noise here, but no follow-up from me. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Josh, obviously you were able to connect with Gabe throughout the night. Is there anything they were doing, though, to take away Stephon that you guys couldn't connect more tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think they had a good plan, doubling him, especially on some of these third downs, rolling a safety over the top, playing too high. And usually when you try to take away somebody and put 2 guys on 14, it opens up things for the other guys. And again, Gabe had his opportunity tonight, and he made some outstanding plays, and even Cole making some great plays, getting everybody involved. Yeah, I mean, that's what it came down to. And yeah.
And then Gabe, can you take us through the 2 touchdowns after the 2-minute warning?
Yeah, I mean, we're just, again, I talk about this all the time, but when your number is called, you have to make the play. And I knew that it was going to be a night like that tonight, especially knowing that we have guys like, Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley that will be getting double more often than I would. So I was just prepared for anything coming my way. And I was able to, again, make most of the plays that were called.
Hey, Josh, as you were walking off the field, you seemed to kind of be taking it in and looking around. What were kind of your thoughts as you walked off the field tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough, and to be in that moment. Again, had a lot of respect for Pat. He throws a winning touchdown, and he comes straight over and finds me. To be in that situation and to do that, that was pretty cool of him to do that. And just obviously it sucks the way it happened. We wanted to win that game. We had our opportunities, and I'd taken it all in and holding on to that feeling, and making sure that we don't feel like this again. And like I said, back-to-back years in the same spot. It's tough to take in, but it's part of the game. It's part of the learning process, and we gotta use this and figure out how we can be better, and how we can accomplish what we want to accomplish.
Thanks.
Hey, Josh, Jason Wolf with the Buffalo News. Appreciate your time, man. Heck of a performance, heck of a season. What are you thinking? What's going through your head when you hit Gabe with 13 seconds to play to take the lead? Are you thinking at that point, hey, we got this? We're hosting the AFC title game next week. What are you thinking then?
How unbelievable was that?
Thinking, it's Pat Mahomes on the other side. They made some good plays there at the end, and unfortunately the coin toss went the way it went. But I mean, again, scoring with 13 seconds left, that was unbelievable play by him. Our front five blocking the way they did on 4th down, I believe. Again, I'm super proud of our guys throughout the season, the ups and downs, and I know it's disappointing right now. It hurts right now. And you can say it's gonna be better. We're gonna learn from this, and it's very cliche, and nobody wants to hear that. But I truly believe that this unit will learn from this. We've got a pretty young squad, a lot of guys coming back next year, and again, we just got to use this as fuel for the fire.
As a quick follow-up, you mentioned the coin flip. Obviously, the rules are what they are. How do you feel about not getting the opportunity to touch the ball in overtime?
Yeah, the rules are what they are, and I can't complain about that, because if it was the other way around, we'd be celebrating too. So it is what it is at this point. And we didn't make enough plays tonight.
And just real quick, Gabe, what's it like for you to have essentially one of the great games of your life, but then to be sitting there disappointed with the result?
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to be able to celebrate that when something like that happens, because at the end of the day, this is a team game, and you want your team, to keep going and keep playing to win the Super Bowl and move forward. And was looking forward to having the AFC Championship, at home too as well, and we didn't get that job done today, and it's upsetting.
Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate you both.
Yeah.
Hey, Gabe, can you just comment on that 17-play drive, just the guts your quarterback showed with all of those 3rd down and 4th down conversions, in addition to, being on the other end of a lot of those to kind of come through for him?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, 17 is always going to make a play with the ball in his hand. We got a lot of trust and faith in him. He's the best quarterback in the NFL, and I stand by that. And I know that when it's time to make plays, I know he's going to be there to make them.
Thanks, guys.
Dr. Josh, Mookie Hawkins, 1 for Sports Cincinnati, man. Great game out there today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, 25 points, man, in the final 2 minutes of that game. Could you just explain to us what was the emotional roller coaster like? I mean, just to have patience, just to, battle for battle, toe for toe, blow for blow. Could you just run through that emotional roller coaster, if you will?
Yeah, I mean, just trying to win a game. That's what it comes down to, and it takes everybody. It takes all 53 or 55 guys on the roster. I think it's 53 now or 50, whatever it is. It takes everybody on our team, from our practice squad, the people in the organization, in the building, to our cafeteria, people upstairs. And again, I'm proud of how we handled this season from top down. Working with all the COVID rules early on, not letting that be used as a distraction. And I'm super proud of our organization for, again, bringing the guys that we've brought in. But again, that, you win some, you lose some at the end of the day, and you can't win them all. And, we'll learn from this one.
Absolutely, man. And, I know it's still fresh, but how would this loss challenge you guys to get better for next season?
You got that one.
It's just gonna leave that bad taste in our mouth. I know it'll be something I'll be thinking about until the next season starts again, because there's still gonna be games going on and the Super Bowl's gonna be played, and you're gonna see it on TV and know you should have been in that position. So it's definitely gonna have people with a chip on their shoulder coming into next year, and just being ready to play our ball that we know we can play.
No matter the outcome, guys, they put some respect on your name tonight. Way to play.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
There you have the main touchdown scorers for the Buffalo Bills tonight. A fabulous game from Josh Allen and from Gabriel Davis. I mean, they both played excellent football. And they just went up against a tsunami wave. Like, there's just... I don't know what any human being on planet Earth can do better than what Josh Allen and Gabriel Davis did tonight. Stupendous. And maybe I don't know. I feel like I've spent a lot of time praising the Bills tonight. And
they were amazing.
But that's the thing.
At least offensively, right? Like, defensively, they had some of their issues later in the game, but like Josh Allen showed up. And Josh Allen was everything he was billed to be. He was fantastic.
And I know that all becomes easier when the Chiefs win the game. So like, if I'm just saying, if I think part of it also is the more credit you give to the Bills, the more ridiculous that game is from Patrick Mahomes.
This really felt like Patrick Mahomes' Tom Brady moment. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it was like he's inevitable.
Yeah,
like
his Thanos moment, if not Tom Brady. Yeah.
Like, we've seen Patrick Mahomes be amazing,
character.
but what made Tom Brady so special, and still does, is the fact that he just always finds a way, which today was actually maybe the first time he didn't ultimately find a way. It looked like they were going to, but this was I think this was like the beginning, hopefully, of a bunch of AFC fan bases feeling hopeless for the next decade, right? Like, you hope that this was the real beginning of that, because it's not just a game where you dominated, or even like Houston, right? They're down 24-0, but they got the lead still relatively early in that game, right? It wasn't a fourth quarter comeback. This was a 2-minute comeback, a 13-second comeback.
It's ridiculous, man. It's insane.
The game was over. If you have a lead with 13 seconds left and you are kicking off, the game is over.
Yeah, it's not you have a lead with 13 seconds and they're on the 2. You are kicking off to them.
The game's over.
You heard a reporter in there ask Gabriel Davis about the 2 touchdowns after the 2-minute warning, which implies that there were 2 more touchdowns before it, which is true, and also the phrase 2 touchdowns after the 2-minute warning is stupid. Also, I wanted to read this tweet before we take a quick break. We'll come back and hear from Sean McDermott and do some final analysis here. But from Jay Jolly on Twitter, it called in earlier, and I noticed that we had a second Jay, but ultimately that we didn't get to Jay before he dropped. Noticed that at the time, it's too bad. I don't like it when people have to wait on hold and they don't get on the show. But Jay tweeted in, and this tweet is perfect. Said, I called you tonight, but had to hang up. Just wanted to say that I cried for 15 minutes in section 307 after Kelsey's game winner, then laughed all the way out of Arrowhead until I got to Waffle House in Platte City. Love the podcast. Go Chiefs. I mean, come on, man.
Jay's just living his best life right now.
Jay's killing it. And Jay is representative of a lot of people who are at either a literal or like a metaphorical Waffle House right now, just laughing. We'll close up our metaphorical Waffle House whenever we come back here on the Sports Radio 810 WHB Postgame Show.
Jayhawk fans, this is Bill Self. If you have an urgent orthopedic or sports injury, the University of Kansas Health System is open, safe, and has extended hours to see you quickly. Your injuries deserve treatment from the experts who treat the Jayhawks. Request an appointment at kansashealthsystem.com/sportsmedicine.
The University of Kansas Health System is an official healthcare provider of Kansas Athletics together with LMH Health. Request an appointment at kansashealthsystem.com/sportsmedicine.
Do you have a frog? You know, a freezing room over the garage? Now that everyone is home, are you looking to convert your frog into an office, a schoolroom, or a comfortable room to escape your family? With no ductwork required, Mitsubishi Electric offers room-by-room air filtration and precise temperature control. Let's help you turn those cold, uncomfortable spaces in your house into a space you and your family will really enjoy. To learn more about Mitsubishi Electric's solutions, visit keepkccool.com today. Now, they can help you whether you need to heat it up or cool it down. Mitsubishi's got you covered. Our biggest problem here in the Sports Radio 810 control room and studio was the heat. We've got a lot of windows and a lot of radio equipment, and our Mitsubishi unit has kept us cool for years. It works like a charm, and it works quickly, and it's whisper quiet. It's been a real game changer for us at Sports Radio 810. Check them out at keepkccool.com. That's keepkccool.com today.
Hey guys, it's Grunny here for my friends at CBD American Shaman. Man, I love football and I love big scores. When Kansas City scores, you score big at your local CBD American Shaman stores the day after the game. If Kansas City puts up 30, it's 30% off all the next day at your local CBD American Shaman store. If they put up 50, you got it, 50% off all the very next day. Now that's a big win. CBD American Shaman. Life is so much better with the feather.
Hey, KC, this is Jack Johnson from The Shift on ESPN Kansas City to tell you about the law firm of Gerritsen & Toth. They handle the most complex felony, federal, or state criminal defense cases. What sets them apart, though, from the average criminal defense firm is that they were prosecutors for 25 years. If you have any doubts, just Google them. You'll find that they have been doing this successfully, helping criminal defendants all over the Kansas City area for years. If you or someone you know are in trouble, call Gerritsen & Toth. They can help no matter the size of the problem.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
Stephen St. John here from our friends at CarStar, the auto body repair experts. Are you ready to be part of a winning team? Kansas City Metro CarStar Collision Centers are seeking out experienced, quality-minded technicians that want to enjoy a family-owned business instead of the crazy corporate world. CarStar employees are their best asset, and they are treated that way. Great benefits, training, bonuses, and iCar certifications are available. Go to carstar.com to find a location that fits you. CarStar. Relax. They'll take it from here. Get in the game and don't be left on the sidelines when the power goes out. Upcoming winter storms and potential energy hacks can leave you and your family in a serious timeout. Call Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric today. They have Generac generators in stock now. Have the electricity you need, even if your neighbors don't. Visit AnthonyPHCE.com or call 913-384-4440 and schedule your appointment today.
Hey Kansas City, it's Jeff Briggs with Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, home of the Victory Effect. Our pledge to drive down vehicle pricing for the city we love. The Start Something New sales event kicks off 2022, and interest rates remain close to all-time lows, plus trade values are bringing more than ever. It's a great time to buy. We know it's hard to find a replacement, but did you know if you custom order a new vehicle at Victory, you get to play best ball with the factory incentives? That's right. Get an accurate upfront price quote when you order today, and if the rebates are better when the vehicle arrives, the extra savings goes right in your pocket. It's a simple process, and we can show you how easy it is to customize a new vehicle and have it shipped directly to you. complete with your name personalized on the window sticker. And don't forget, if you have a trade, we buy your car at top dollar regardless of if you purchase a new vehicle from us or not. Visit us at Kansas City's only automotive outlet mall, the Legends Auto Plaza, on the southeast corner of 435 and Parallel, just east of Nebraska Furniture Mart, or online at victorymotorskc.com, where our first price is better than their last.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
I'm attorney Mike DePasquale. After a car wreck, the last thing you want to do is trust the insurance company. These insurance companies try to rip off good people every single day. My law firm won't let you get ripped off. We'll fight to get you all the money you deserve, and you don't pay us a dime unless we win your case. If you've been hurt, call me. I've got this.
Mike's got this. All you need to know, 816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Robert Brogdon's Olathe Buick GMC is announcing a worry-free guarantee on new Buick and GMC purchases. That's right. Buy any vehicle, and if you don't love it, they'll take it back, no matter the mileage, and refund you 100% of the purchase price. They've got the area's best selection on new models like the 2022 GMC Yukon, Sierra 1500 Limited, and Buick Encore GX. With this offer, there's never been a better time to buy. Visit robertbrogdon.com or check them out at I-35 in Santa Fe in Olathe. Customer must register vehicle. See dealer for details.
Hi, it's Tamara Day from HGTV's Bargain Mansions. Life moves fast. When you're house hunting, remodeling, and more, make the most of your time by contacting local lender Nutter Home Loans. I trust these home loan experts who have been independently owned for over 70 years. Ask about their no-cost home loan pre-approval or cashback refinance. It really is better at Nutter.
NutterHomeLoans.com. Not a commitment to lend. Loans available to qualified borrowers. James B. Nutter & Company, DBA Nutter Home Loans, NMLS 2067.
When was the last time you looked at your roof? This is Garen Armstrong with Shamrock Roofing and Construction. This Kansas City weather can wreak havoc on your roof, and small problems can become big problems fast. Repair, replacement, or no problems at all. You'll have peace of mind. Call Shamrock Roofing today at 913-850-6556 or shamrockroofer.com, and we will get a member of our team out to help you within 24 hours. Shamrock Roofing, where one call does it all.
Kansas City knows a winner. And for selecting your next car, Aristocrat Motors Pre-Owned of Lee Summit is a winner. Aristocrat Motors means quality pre-owned vehicles. Combine that quality with the convenience of their pre-owned facility in Lee Summit and their largest selection ever, and it means they have a car, SUV, or sports car that will fit your needs. Aristocrat Motors Pre-Owned Lee Summit, 704 Southeast Oldham Road, just off Highway 150 and Hamlin Road, or online at aristocratmotorsls.com.
Hey guys, it's Grunny here for my friends at CBD American Shaman. Man, I love football and I love big scores. When Kansas City scores, you score big at your local CBD American Shaman stores the day after the game. If Kansas City puts up 30, it's 30% off all the next day at your local CBD American Shaman store. If they put up 50, you got it, 50% off all the very next day. Now that's a big win. CBD American Shaman. Life is so much better with the feather.
At Subaru of Olathe, we put you in the driver's seat with at-home test drives and a simplified buying process. Need service done on your Subaru? Subaru of Olathe will come to you and pick up your vehicle and return it after the work is done. For an easy, convenient, hassle-free buying experience, shop us online at SubaruofOlathe.com. We'll even deliver your new Subaru right to your door. So however you like to shop, online or in store, Subaru of Olathe puts you in the driver's seat. Get started today and shop our huge selection of vehicles your way at SubaruofOlathe.com.
There you see what the Bills have done so far through 24 plays. Had a time-wise almost 2-1, but they got a 3rd and 2. Reid was able to walk off under his own power. He's in the tent right now. Singletary. Oh, do they have that locked down? That is Nick Bolton. We talked about how this rookie has been making big plays, and there's another example, a loss of 2.
Nick Bolton really did make some good work tonight. And the Chiefs defense had a couple of pretty good moments. Also, again, without Tyrann Mathieu or Rashad Fenton. I say all of that as I am looking at the Next Gen Stats pass chart for Josh Allen. I just tweeted it out at JB Brisco on Twitter if you want to go check that out. There are just straight up blue arcs, which is what symbolizes a touchdown pass, down the middle of the field at different depths, and it's 4 that all went to Gabriel Davis. And it is ridiculous and probably not super great, super sustainable for the Bengals next week. We can wait until tomorrow, being either Monday or Tuesday. It's technically Monday now. We can wait a little bit to break down some of how that could be an issue. But I don't even have the energy to right now. I have plenty of energy, to be clear. It's just good energy.
The good news is, at least against Cincinnati, I don't know if we have to worry about the middle of the field because it just might be Jamar Chase down the sideline.
I am a little afraid that whatever they did to Stephon Diggs tonight, they might try to do to Jamar Chase next week, and then you're going to get T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, I just call him Big O, or Big U.
CJ Uzama.
It's a U, right?
Uzama, yeah. Ezoma.
I should have just said I call him CJ because I remembered that.
Yeah.
But
Uzama.
I want to call him Hushmanzada so bad, and not just because it's a name that is harder to pronounce, but because he's a Bengal.
They're
Bengals,
yeah.
man.
Hoosh.
They have TJ Hushmanzada and CJ Uzama.
I miss Hoosh.
CJ Uzama sounds like the changed the name because they couldn't get legal name, image, and likeness clearing in the video game. So like instead of TJ Hushmanzada, you get Barry Bonds famously had one of those.
Yeah, it was Reggie. I think it was Reggie. Because I played this
Reggie
game.
Stalker.
Reggie Stalker. I knew it was an S. I was gonna say Sandoval, and I was like, that's not right because that's Pablo. I'm happy that I was able to pull that.
Did you know that there was a play on words within that?
No.
Stalker represented stockbrokers, and they replaced bonds as in security bonds.
Oh, that's genius! Actually, I like that.
That's
smart.
That's a cursory Google. I don't know if that is actually true or not.
It seems likely.
Makes sense. It's on the internet. They can't put it on the internet if it wasn't true.
You can't lie on the internet.
It's illegal or something. Let's go ahead and hear from one more man on the Bills side here tonight. I always like hearing from the opposing head coaches and the opposing quarterbacks when we can, especially after a game like this one, truly an instant classic. Let's hear from Bills head coach Sean McDermott.
Coach, have you ever been a part of a game like that? And how great a performance of two quarterbacks, especially your quarterback. That it had to be one of the greatest performances I've ever seen.
Yeah, Pat, it was tremendous effort by Josh. And, they made a couple more plays than we did, obviously, down the stretch there. And but tremendous job by Josh. The guys played their guts out. And we got to do got to execute a little bit better in the last couple plays there. And so appreciate the way the guys battled.
My last question to you, Coach. What is the feeling in the locker room right now? What are the feelings of your players to be in a game of that nature?
Yeah, this is Chiefs are a good football team, and we knew it was going to take a heck of an effort coming out here, and I thought the guys gave us that effort. Starting with Josh and all the way down the line, and we got to obviously do some things better. But those guys they're hurt. We're disappointed. We're all disappointed. We're all hurt, sick to our stomach. So you move on and you try and get yourself to learn from it, and it stings. It stings. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It stings.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Hi, Coach. Adam Benini. You had mentioned you needed to execute a little bit better down the stretch. Obviously, I mean it's punch and counterpunch there through the end of regulation and into overtime. 13 seconds they went down the field, tied the game. I guess assess in those scenarios where you think you came up short from an execution standpoint.
Yeah, I don't want to really get into specifics, Adam, and with respect to your question, just overall, there's things we talked about, and we can just execute better, and that starts with me and goes all the way down. So I don't want to get into specifics right now. I'm really proud of the guys and their effort. Obviously they made a couple plays down the stretch. So I'll just leave it at that right now.
What, I think you've shared part of this, but what message did you send them in the locker room after the game?
Yeah, I just said, hey, we got a, great effort, and I'm proud of all of them. And, these guys came through a lot. They really did. And to come out here and the game come down to, pretty much 13 seconds. I think they all feel the same way I do. We're all sick to our stomach and it hurts. We work really hard to get here, number one. And I know the fans are disappointed, and I wish I could take that off of them. I wish I could take it off of the team, right? And but we can't. And what doesn't kill you should only make you stronger. And I think this should make us stronger. It's going to take some time, but it should make us stronger.
Thank you, Sean.
Hey, Sean, your quarterback played an outstanding game, obviously, and he's one of the best in the league. But you've got a guy in Mahomes who, and you know this, he is the obstacle. And you guys have had a tough time clearing that here in the postseason twice in a row. Just how tough is it knowing that, like Brady in New England for all those years, this guy is going to be in your way, and you've got to get past him.
Yeah, so that's the reality of the situation, right? It is. It's the reality of our situation, and we've got to continue to work to beat him. Give them the credit. He made a couple plays down the stretch, and he had a great game, as was mentioned earlier. It's what great players do. They make big plays in big moments of big games, and he made big plays. And but again, I'm proud of the way the guys fought. They battled. So we've got to continue to adjust and work on becoming a better team, and then our execution as well.
If I could ask you too, when you look at the stat sheet, is it jarring to see that Steph had 3 catches for 7 yards?
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously one of our best players, and we've got to make sure we're getting him the ball. But at the end of the day, we scored, to take the lead with 13 seconds left. So there's a lot we can talk about, but we put ourselves in a position to win the game.
Okay. Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, it's Mike Catalana. I know it's 13 seconds. It sounds crazy, but did you consider a squib kick there? Would that have made a difference? Or how do you think about those plays? I mean, it's only 13, but maybe to waste a little more time, was that ever considered?
Yeah, we talk about a lot of things, Mike. I'm just going to leave it at the execution, and that starts with me.
And back just to your defense on Mahomes, it seems like you've been a really good tackling team the second half of the year. Was that the biggest issue with defensively today? Just not just him, but getting those guys to the ground?
Yeah, you got to tackle well against this offense. They've got great speed. A 5-yard catch can turn into a 50-yard run after catch. So when you saw the one, and we were in 2-man. I think after the second to last touchdown by our offense, when we went up a little bit there, and Tyreek made a play, and then he took it to the house. So they challenge you defensively because of the speed that they have on offense.
Thank you, Sean.
Sure.
Sean, it's Jay with the Buffalo News. Did you consider kicking it short, or maybe kicking it to the goal line after that final touchdown in the fourth quarter, to maybe try to get them to run some clock by having to return the ball?
Yeah, we talked about that. And again, I'm just going to put it on the execution at this point, and myself, Jay, I'm just going to leave it at that.
Gabe Davis, 200 yards receiving, 4 touchdowns. What can you say about the job that he did for you tonight?
Yeah, I looked at him on the sideline, and I said, hey, you're going to make the play. And he darn sure made 2 big-time plays for us down the stretch there.
Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Hey, Coach. Just wanted to go over the 17-play scoring drive. 3 third-down conversions, 2 fourth-down conversions, including the touchdown. Not that this team needed to prove anything to you, but just the kind of mettle and guts that they showed on that 17-play scoring drive.
Yeah, tremendous, Chris. Tremendous. I mean, we knew we were going to have to be very resilient out here with the environment the way it is, and how good of a team they are. And was super proud of the way the guys were that through the course of the game, the highs and lows. And so, yeah.
Thanks, Coach. Hell of a season.
Thanks.
Yeah, Sean, just again on the 13 seconds left, was there any discussion of maybe just taking an intentional penalty by the defensive backs, grabbing, holding, intentional to just one time to kill 4 or 5 seconds?
Yeah, we talk about a lot of those things, Mark, and yeah, so a lot was being talked about there, and again, we come back. It comes back to me.
There you go, Sean McDermott in a tough post-game press conference because it was a brutal loss, not in the way that losses often are. And the case where you have a heartbreaking final play, that's a tough loss. You get crushed, blown out of a game, that's a difficult loss. Whenever you do everything you could ask for offensively, you have game-winning plays, plural, that if the game would have ended right after that, we would have all said, yes, that was clearly the game-winning play. You expect to win games that way. Both of these teams had game-winning plays, plural, tonight. Ultimately, the Kansas City Chiefs had the last one. What a game. What a time. Another AFC Championship game in Kansas City next week, everybody. We'll see you there. We'll talk to you then. Chiefs 42, Bills 36. The Chiefs will host an NFL record 4th consecutive home AFC Championship game.
Hey, it's Bob with Culligan Water. After doing hundreds of water tests in the Kansas City area, I noticed a pattern. So I've developed water treatment packages that specifically target water issues we face here locally. All of my packages include 2 years of free service and maintenance. Contact me, Bob, at CulliganKansasCity.com/Bob. That's CulliganKansasCity.com/Bob. Let's talk about how to better your water. When you think of better water, think of Bob with Culligan Water.
Hey guys, it's Grunny here for my friends at CBD American Shaman. Man, I love football and I love big scores. When Kansas City scores, you score big at your local CBD American Shaman stores the day after the game. If Kansas City puts up 30, it's 30% off all the next day at your local CBD American Shaman store. If they put up 50, you got it, 50% off all the very next day. Now that's a big win. CBD American Shaman. Life is so much better with the feather.
Hey, Kansas City, it's Brian Pringle with Victory Ford at the Legends in KCK. We want to wish everyone a wonderful 2022. New inventory has just arrived for the new year, and we are excited for what we have to offer you. Trucks, cars, and SUVs, we have it all. The entire team at Victory Ford is dedicated to one thing, serving you with respect. We take great pride in providing exceptional customer service that keeps the golden rule at the forefront of everything we do. Come see us today at the Legends in KCK or online at victoryfordkc.com, where our first price